What's up, everybody? We're back at it again for this lovely Wednesday. Yeah, yes, sir. It's Wednesday. Shout out to all the all the loyal viewers out there. We got some consistency on this channel. We got a lot going on, man. It's just normal stuff. Hopefully everything is working. Let me make sure. Josiah, what's up, brother? Josiah, he can't wait to be on the stream, and I like that, man. Thanks for jumping on here, man. Live stream seems to be working. There we go. We good. All right, today is White Belt Wednesday. Everybody, go help out a white belt. Do it for me. Do it for Ali. Do it for Ben Askren. I saw an update with him. I think he was running or something. I gotta find it. Josiah says, "I'm depressed. Thought about it. Oh no. We happy to have you, man. Fight through it, brother. Fight through it. 21 years I went without martial arts, and I'm bitter and angry." Yeah, man. We still need you, man. We need you on the live stream, bro. We need you in this world. And you get to train now. Now is the best time. Actually, now is the best time to train. If you were training 21 years ago, you'd be broken, beat up. Now is the best time to be training. You got all the resources, got the live stream, got BJJ Fanatics, got YouTube. You good, man. You where you're supposed to be right now. So don't give up, brother. Stay in the race, man. Yeah. Stay in the race, brother. Whew. And guys, always get help if you need it. Get proper help. Don't the coaches aren't trained therapists or counselors, so make sure you get proper help. I'm hoping LOL Snap comes back on here because we want to get the follow up to what he was saying yesterday. We were all jealous yesterday, so we're gonna see if he comes back on here. He might be in trouble. I think his wife got him. He be talking big, but I think his wife got him. So yeah, we'll let a couple more people jump into the live stream. Josiah's LOL Snap come back. LOL Snap said nobody can tell me what to do, but then he had to jump off that live stream after he dropped that bomb on us yesterday. But yeah, I hope everybody's doing well, man. We'll get a couple more people in the chat first. Let me warm my voice up. We ain't never had that much jealousy in the live stream. Everybody was jealous. Patrick T, what's up? White Belt Wednesday, yeah? Go help out a white belt, everybody. Somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to help these people out. Yeah. We got some judo. We got some Muggsy. What else we got going on? Something else. Some ADCC news. It's okay to have not as much news in this sport because, man, when somebody get in trouble in this sport, we be covering them for the whole week. J-Rod, Jacob Couch, Moneyberg, whoever get in trouble, we be covering them for the whole week. So it's all right. We got to relax when we can. No, don't do that, Patrick. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that, Patrick. Don't do that. Don't do that, please. We don't need that right now. Josiah says jiu-jitsu is on the rise. Hope y'all athletes make more money. Coach Saladers is on a mission to make Jay grow. And you know what? I think I met Greg Saladers. Did I meet him before? I feel like we stayed. I need to ask before. I feel like he stayed at an Airbnb with some of my friends one time. I need to ask and see. Josiah says, I'm being good right now. I'm not in a good mood. All right, leave him alone today. We're going to leave Josiah alone. Listen. Yeah, we're just going to leave Josiah alone today. We ain't going to pick on him or anything. We're just going to uplift him. Yeah, Josiah been doing good, man. I'm really impressed with his behavior on this live stream. He's been doing good. Let's get into it a little bit. We try to do 3 hours. Who else doing 3 hours? I keep saying that. And then somebody's going to do 4 hours. Somebody comes and do more hours than me. I'm going to say, good luck. Good work. Go do it. Says Kodokan president breaks silence on IJF rules. MMA and BJJ unfiltered truth. So judo got a lot of rules over there. That's why they can't do nothing. Too many rules. Too many spoons in the pot. Too many cooks in the kitchen. So they be shooting themselves in the foot. Now imagine if USA Wrestling or whoever's in charge of wrestling, UWW, said the wrestlers couldn't do MMA no more. Man, they would have some anarchy. Josiah says, yeah, man, just you gotta stay strong, sometimes it's, your brain chemistry and some other stuff, it's not always something you can control or willpower your way out of. So like I always say, get proper help. I'm not a trained therapist or psychologist or anything. You got to get the proper help. And people on the internet, they usually the worst people to help you. Imagine you went to Reddit and they over there they be telling you to do stuff you shouldn't do. So yeah, Josiah, do what you gotta do, man. But we really appreciate you. We love to have you. We love having you on here. You're an asset to the stream. So let's listen to this, and I think there might be an article too. Can you watch this? Let me click on the video though. Make sure we ain't watching no commercials.
で16年前にここのね後をやりなさいということでここに就任しました。しかし自分がやったのがねその柔道のねほんの一部、これはもう試合のね中で戦う場の柔道しかしな中いことに気づいた。カノシアンがね作られた柔道ってそんな狭いもんじゃなかったね。世界の人たちにいっぱい柔道を教えて自分のね人間形成の場として柔道を使いなさい。そしてそこには人がたくさん集まったらそれによって会えない人たちでもここで会うことによってそれから付き合いが始まってそれが世界平和につながっていくと思う。やっぱ試合をね試合を中心にやる時期にそれをやってもいいと思う。そういう柔道っていうのはね例えば型をやったり本当受け身だけやったりあるいは健康のためにやったり試合だけのためにやったりってしかし行き着くとこはみんな一緒だ。試合をやった人たちも最終的には自分が修行して、人間のこれを高めていって自分の人格形成をやる。そしてそのやった時知り合った人たちといっぱい友達を作ってやっぱりそれは世界が広がっていくしそして、やっぱ正々堂々と戦うっていうのが柔道の根本的原理である。そしてこれね全日本選手権というのは無差別の試合です。だから60キロの人と150キロの人が戦うこともある。だから当然足をかけてきたそれも持っていい。何でもでもね自分の最大限に危険な技と卑怯なことをしなかったら私はやっていい。だから国際柔道連盟でねレッグを攻撃しちゃいけない取っちゃいけないっていうのはもともとみんな組まなくなってきた。柔道着っていうのは何のためにある。レスリングはこれを着ないから相手を捕まえるだけ。でも柔道着はこの柔道着をいかに上手に使うかこれ使って技をかけるかというところにあるのにみんな組まないで足ばっかし取り始めたから、ね、柔道は柔道である。畳の上でそして礼を守ってそして相手ちゃんと危険なことをしない怪我させるような技をかけない それで相手が小学生だったら大人が一緒にやってもそれに合わせて一緒に組めるような、これが柔道です。だからいろんなねマーシャルアーツができてもいいと。ただ柔道は柔道、あくまでも柔道は柔道着を着てやっぱり礼法を守って、そしてやっぱね技で自分の一番いいところを使った技でやっぱお互いに修行する場である。だから礼法は服従ではないよ、相手リスペクトしてるからなんともされるんで、一つはまあきちんとした礼法を学ばせたいっていうのがあって、もう一つは強くなってオリンピックチャンピオンになりたいという目標もある。しかしそれとね、一番親御さんが期待されてるのは友達がたくさんできて一緒に協力していろんなことをやる場所である。一人じゃ柔道できません、相手がいないとね。でも卑怯なことやって危険なことやってたらみんな友達もいなくなるだろうし、だからこそみんなここでそういう成長していってくれるんだ。
Hi, this is Shadi. Recently, Julien, my friend.
You know what, man? I don't know what to say about that. I feel like they have good intentions in judo. But they rather see judo stay the same than grow and prosper, to be honest. So, I mean, it is what it is. What can I say? They're gonna them old Japanese people don't want to change judo. Judo. Instead of evolving judo, they take more things away from judo. I mean, all right, good luck. Josiah says, I miss judo, but judo needs to grow and prosper. But you're going to always have these old guys, these old people that, this is the way Kano wanted it. I'm sure Kano was a trendsetter. He took all the old techniques and he made a uniform, like a uniform curriculum, uniform techniques. I don't know. Kano would, maybe he would. I'm not an old Japanese person, but I feel like Kano would be more open to. Well, I don't think he cared about the competitive part of judo, but I think he would be more open to judo taking more techniques, learning from other martial arts. And they're gonna say this. It's not as safe when they can grab your legs, and you gotta grab the gi. I mean, why can't there be no gi judo? What's to stop them from having no gi judo? Yeah, why isn't there a no gi judo? Why hasn't judo continued? I mean, there is like freestyle judo and stuff like that, but nobody cares about freestyle judo. All they care about is Olympic judo. I mean, I'm not in the judo world really. I'm just a white belt in judo. But shoot. I mean, here in America, I can tell you that judo's dying, and whatever these old Japanese guys are saying, that ain't helping America. If one of the biggest countries, if judo's dying in one of the biggest countries, I mean, what does that say about your art form? I don't know. Let's read a couple comments. We got some judoka in here. I gotta get through this before they jump on the live stream to defend judo. Let me tackle judo before they come back and throw me. Someone says, I've shared the original interview some time ago with a summary of the interview. Oh, wait a second. You got a summary of that? Did they have the whole interview? I want to see the whole interview. Oh, there it is right there.
Hey, what's
Oh, he did. Some other guy did the interview. Oh, I didn't know that.
Hey, what's up, travelers? Salut, Wager. So I believe you can recognize where I am, Kodokan, center of Tokyo. And today's
紹介したらいいかは難しいけど、私はね、ちょうどこの講道館の館長になって16年理念っていうのがやっともう世界らしくね、世界に普及する、そして後世に正しく伝えていくのが私らの仕事だと思ってる。柔道はね、それはこれが一番のルールであるということではない。それより、ね、年代的に、ね、子供たちは子供の使っちゃいけない技やって、ね、使っていい技と分けていかなきゃいけない。
So instead of teaching the kids everything, you can't do that. Man, let them kids do everything.
危険を排除し、そして、ね、やっぱ正々堂々と戦うっていうのが柔道の根本的原理である。 そしてこれね、全日本選手権っていうのは無差別級もある。だから当然足をかけてきた、それを卑怯な国際柔道連盟でね、くまなくから使って技をかけるかというところにね、足を攻撃することを禁止したんだよね。そういうことは一時的にあっていいと思うよ。柔道はね、カノジグロシアンが作られた。それから俺たちが発展させてある程度ね、昔の柔道と今の柔道違うとか、それはないと思うよ。カノシアンっていうのはもう先進的な人だったから、その状況において。
Wait. My man said Kano Shihan was a pioneer. Is judo pioneering right now? Can somebody come defend judo? Are they pioneering? Because it doesn't seem like they're pioneering, really. Judo, come on, man.
時代に応じて少しそういう技も変わっていくのは、俺は当たり前にされたと思う。カノシアンはなんでね、いろんなスポーツとか、ね、武術には必ず攻撃か防御から教えるのに、カノシアンは受け身から教えたんだよ。だからまずは自分の身を守ろう。そして相手もね、練習やって怪我をさせたらいつまでも嫌な気持ちが残るけど、お互いにそういうことをね、やっぱりしないで正々堂々と組み合ってやるっていうのがやっぱカノシアンの目指された柔道だった。だから柔道の発展っていうのはもうね、報道官もちろん僕らはいろんなことをね、みんなと議論しながらいろんなことをね、研究しながらやっぱり進めていきたいと思ってる。だってここに来て見て、どっちが多い？日本の選手たちが多い？外国の人たちが多い？なんかこの前のね、第一部の型の講習会の時も230名ぐらい参加してくれたけど、180人ぐらいが外国からの皆さんね、ここは柔道をみんな修行をねする場です。それはもう日本人だろうか外国の人だろうか関係ない。みんなそれがカノシアンの目指されたところだ。俺たちはそれをもっともっと発展させていかなきゃいけない。柔道は柔道である。畳の上で、そして礼を守って、そして相手ちゃんと危険なことをしない、怪我させるような技かけない。それで相手が小学生だったら大人が一緒にやってもそれに合わせて一緒に組めるような、これが柔道です。だからいろんなね、マーシャルアーツができてもいいと。ただ柔道は柔道、あくまでも柔道は柔道着を着て、やっぱり礼法を守って、そしてやっぱね、技で自分の一番いいところを使った技でやっぱりお互いに修行する場である。だから礼法は服従ではないよ。相手リスペクトしてるから頭下げるんだ。だからいっぱいみんな、私のね孫たちもみんな柔道やってくれてますと。それなんでだと思う。最初はガンって転んでた。だから柔道は受け身っていうのは上手な転び方だ。自分の身を守るようにしてね、力抜いてこうやって転べると。だからたくさん子供たちが講道館にも修行に来てくれてる。親が何と言うと思う。これね、一つはまあきちんとした礼法を学ばせたいっていうのがある。でもう一つは強くなってオリンピックチャンピオンになりたいという目標もある。しかしそれとね、一番親御さんが期待されているのは、友達がたくさんできて一緒に協力していろんなことをやる場所である。一人じゃ柔道できません。相手がいないとね。でも卑怯なことやって危険なことやってたらみんな友達もいなくなるだろうし、だからこそみんなここでそういう成長していってくれるんだと思って。どうやってこれこれ。
Thank you very much.
Okay, so that's I mean, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say about judo people. Where are you guys? I'm trying to message my man Sergi over here. He's talking about some more drama everywhere, bro. That's something I realized. There's drama. It doesn't matter your sport, your country, religion. There's gonna be some drama somewhere. It's the human nature, I guess. Yeah. Human condition. So let me read through this. It says summary. It says initial focus on competition and winning. Since becoming president of the Kodokan gained a new perspective. Judo is more than a competition. I mean, you should have realized that. Judo's goals are holistics and varied strength and varied Judo's goals are shout out to Big Rob. Big Rob, if you guys, my cousin had a health scare during the summer, but he getting back to training everybody. You know, jiu-jitsu people don't let nothing stop them. They don't let depression stop them. They don't let health don't stop them. Nothing stop these people. people love to train. Judo's goals are holistic, varied, strengthening the self and the mind, contribute to society, creation of better human beings. We don't have any of that in jiu-jitsu. We might need to add some of that. Can we add some of that to jiu-jitsu? Judo is also kata. I don't care about that. Self-defense, physical conditioning, socializing, all of them together, and different people will be attracted by different aspects of it. Judo is not exclusive to Japan. It's universal. You wouldn't know that. Leg grabs allowed in judo. Leg grab allowed in Japan. Why? Competition rules are not the most important thing in judo. Children need to be taught the techniques that are part of judo. Leg grabs are a part of judo. It says the IJF banned them because competitors were not gripping. And judo is about gripping, throwing, and following up to nawaza. All right. With people going for legs, that was being lost. Well, was it working? To me, that they should add the leg grabs back. Judo got too many rules, bro. How you gonna grow a sport? You keep making rules left and right. Let's see some real comments, man. Let me read. That's kind of cool. It says the fact that the judo nomad, a legit former competitor from a strong judo country, and who's clearly enthusiastic about promoting judo, has far less subscribers than some self-proclaimed experts on CLA, constraints learning approach. What does CLA stand for? Marley, what's going on? Marley, leave Josiah alone today, okay? Leave him alone. You guys be picking on Josiah a little bit too much. Leave him alone today, okay? CLA, constraints led approach or whatever. What does the A stand for? CLA. I don't remember. So that or old Japanese judo speaks to the lack of awareness and appreciation of judo in English-speaking world. You can tell he's struggling with money throughout his whole journey. Seriously, you can post elite Japanese high school match here and get far less response than something like give me a leg grab. Marley says he started judo last week. Okay, we got some judo people in here. Constraint led approach. I thought it was something else. Oh, okay. So it says, I agree, but unfortunately, it's just not interesting content for most of your average practitioners who are looking for people selling shortcuts and improving the way they train. There we go. That's jiu-jitsu right there. What is better for self-defense? It says, yes, it's unfortunate his content only got here because of Chatty, not of his own channel. I think judo communities should give proper good content makers enough exposure and credit to support them. That's the social media game. You know, if you're not popular on social media, I mean, I know a ton of good people on social media. Like, they're making good content, and it's not just jiu-jitsu. I'm saying like music and other videos. And if the algorithm's not promoting you and people not really focusing on you, it's kind of like it's hard to grow. So you do need a lot of luck in this. Marley says boxing is best for self-defense. Mushmaster said boxing and judo together are the best for self-defense. I might have to agree. It's all good, Josiah. You got time, man. You got time now. Is that the right thing? It says Chatty, that's the guy who had the original video, is the best. Chatty is at best a hobbyist judoka. He is neither a successful competitor nor is he in the sport long enough to have accumulated vast first-hand knowledge. He is well known because he filled a gap on judo entertainment, and he likes to narrate what he has learned himself. That's jiu-jitsu influencers too. They don't know nothing, but you guys like to hear him talk. I don't have a problem with Chatty, but his videos sometimes make him seem like an expert that he really isn't. Well, you know, sometimes they know more than the average person, but I mean, what does that mean? Marley says, if we can only pick one, boxing is king. I don't know. Maybe. I feel like it's got to be some grappling art. Yeah, I think some grappling, or maybe combat sambo. Can I pick combat sambo, which is basically boxing and judo together? There you go, combat sambo. Yeah, or traditional karate maybe. You got to have some striking and grappling. You just can't have one or the other. Says nothing wrong with hobbyists making YouTube videos about judo. If anything, we need more people doing so to grow the sport. Judo people don't really use social media and YouTube too well, do they? They're not really using the resources too well. Now, jiu-jitsu people, because jiu-jitsu people, we used to be on forums back in the day. We were all up on the internet. I don't know about judo people. Like, we were all up on the forums back in the day. That's before all this social media. We were on forums. You're like, what is this? You be talking crap. You know how we talking crap on the live stream? Well, we used to talk crap on the forum. Had to talk some crap on the forum, and you had to wait for somebody to respond. You didn't get this instant gratification over here of people, posting. You had to wait. You had to wait for people to respond back in the day. But they still used to argue though. Used to argue about everything. What's the best martial art? Which Gracie's the best? Who's the best? Who's the best jiu-jitsu fighter? We used to argue about everything. We still arguing. Marley says Josiah says true. All martial arts are best for self-defense. I wish not every martial art is good for self-defense. You could say jiu-jitsu is not the best for self-defense if you don't have any standing stuff. Marley says, nah, there's too much potential for other people to jump in a street fight. Well, you're going to lose regardless if you got boxing or no boxing. It has to be a non-kicking, striking sport that keeps it on the feet so you don't get stomped. And one thing about boxing, you ever throw a punch and break your hand? Even boxing got limitations. That's why you got to wear gloves. So I think maybe like some type of Muay Thai or one of those sister arts with elbows. Yeah, I'll be throwing elbows and knees. Oh, get out of here! Knee. Ong Bak, you guys remember Ong Bak? Yeah, you shouldn't even be punching. You should be open hand, boom, elbow, shoulder, maybe a little bit of headbutt. Yeah, I mean, there ain't no rules in street fights. I live in Atlanta. They're gonna shoot you. They think you're gonna grab them. They're gonna catch you quick. So yeah, let's stay on topic over here a little bit. Nighttime World says, I saw a video of Andrew Wiltsey. I think he's tripping out of him, saying his old coach is about to sue him. Okay, he's got bipolar and some other stuff. I stay away from Andrew Wiltsey. I don't want Andrew Wiltsey to pop up behind me in the live stream and take me out. So Andrew, we don't mind you. Just stay over there, Andrew. Josiah says, Aikido, I want to try as well. Wiltsey is tripping out again. Sorry, that's okay. You should be asleep anyway. Muay Thai, I tried last night and I was humbled. Yeah, everything should be humbling you. Wiltsey is yeah. No, I'm gonna leave him alone. Somebody's going through it like that. That's he needs help, medical, professional help. And us reacting to what he's doing, because I gotta draw a line somewhere. I gotta have boundaries. I'm not gonna. If somebody's going through something like that, I'm gonna leave him alone. I don't want to set him off. I don't want him to burn anything. I don't want him to attack anybody. I don't want him coming after anybody. He says them elbows and Muay Thai. No, yeah, that spinning elbow. That spinning elbow you don't see, or that dropping elbow that cuts you. Muay Thai people try to cut you. I don't know about you, but if you start getting blood in your eye, you're gonna start doing this, and then you're gonna get hit again. Marley says I spoke to him on the phone last year when he gave his number out on his Instagram story. Why the heck did he do that? Marley, why are you calling people on their phone when they going through a traumatic situation, man? What you doing over there, man? What you call? Josiah, don't ever give Marley your number, bro. He might tell you to do stuff. He says, them kicks is no joke in Muay Thai. Yeah, don't give Marley your number. He might be trolling you. Josiah, don't let him troll you in real life. I was curious, man, so I wanted to talk to a BJJ guy while he's going through a manic episode. Man, Marley, what you talking about, man? Well, we were talking about judo. The Kodokan, the guy in charge of Kodokan, was talking about why they got rid of the leg grabs for IJF, but they allowed it for all Japan. Josiah says, my number I won't ever give out. Yeah, don't give him your number, man. So we still waiting for LOL Snap. I think LOL Snap got in trouble from yesterday. I'm pretty certain he got in trouble yesterday. LOL Snap, what's up? You gotta finish your story, bro. There he is right there. Everybody's here just to listen to your story, bro. We don't even care about the live stream. We just want to hear your stories. He says, your wife let you out of timeout, man? Okay, that's good. Marley says, hey, manic episode or not, the knowledge was still there. We talked about guard passing for 20 minutes. Marley said, I'm gonna capitalize on this guy going through his troubles right now. And I know Marley did you pay him any money, Marley? You just wasted that man's 20 minutes. LOL Snap, we want to know what happened, man. LOL Snap said he had all your favorite MMA fighters. Whatever MMA fighter you liked, he had her already. Right now we're talking about that chatty guy that's, the judo guy. Yeah, it doesn't seem like are judo people really on social media like that? I see some of the girls, I keep my eye out. I see some of the international people too. They be posting more. I don't see nobody posting. I see Travis Stevens posting, his build outs. That's the only judo person I see on social media. Travis Stevens be showing his judo build out. Mushmaster says, don't listen to Chatty. And you know what? That's how most of the jiu-jitsu influencers be. They be terrible. All these jiu-jitsu influencers, and you guys love them. I know Marley loved the jiu-jitsu influencers. I know Josiah loved these jiu-jitsu influencers. They be terrible. And I got to look at them have 300,000 followers. They be terrible. They got way more followers than us. Ain't that crazy, man? Mushmaster says, defer to experts, folks. Well, they don't even, they don't do no research. They're like, man, I really like this guy. He's so good. I'm looking at that guy. I'm like, that guy's good. Are you sure? Are you sure about that? He's amazing. He did. I remember one time they thought one of those influencers could beat up Bernardo Faria. And I was like, wait a second, Bernardo? Mr. Huge Honor today? That guy, that Bernardo? We're losing recipes, yeah. Marley says, Wilsey ain't an influencer. He's a buzzsaw passer. LL Snap says, more than I had a few entertainers too. Dang. Who you have? Mariah Carey? Did you get Mariah Carey? What about J-Lo? Man, we learning a lot from LOL Snap. This is the evil world we live in. That's what Future be saying. LOL Snap done had everybody. It's crazy you settled down, bro. Hopefully you settle down. I'm hoping. Fingers crossed you settle down. It says Chatty is at best a hobbyist judoka. Couldn't he only be a guy with a passion for judo? I know plenty of people, myself included, who didn't compete that much but like to talk about judo. Someone says there's nothing wrong with that, but because his channel became that big, because no one did videos on that topic, and because of the tone of his videos, people treat him like he's pretending to be an expert on the matters. His videos are most often made in the style of a documentary, which can be misleading if you keep in mind that it's made by a person who only reads about these things on the internet and has no expert knowledge himself. Oh, he doesn't train at all? You gotta be careful if you jiu-jitsu influencers too. If you don't got no skin in the game, you making all these videos. I mean, man. You could do it. But I don't know. Marley said Whitney Houston? No, maybe. Marley says when I lie in BJJ live chats. Nighttime Bro says I got my black belt in judo here in Osaka. It only took me 3.5 years. Moneyberg said he could have got it in 1.5 years. Says Japanese judo people are so mean to foreigners when they train there. I got called a gaijin every day training here. I don't know. You guys know gaijin means like, I don't know if it just means white person, but it definitely means foreigner. Marley says, hey guys, I'm Neil Armstrong. Mushmaster says he trains, but he is not like that. Nighttime World says no Japanese person that trains judo wants to lose to a foreigner, especially that's same thing in Brazil. You do jiu-jitsu in Brazil, they don't want to lose, so they don't want to lose to foreigners in Japan. It was pretty rough talk about hostile environment. I think I was supposed to go train judo when I went to Japan, but I was like, you know what, man, I think because I don't think they had any white belts. You know, you had to be in the black belt class. I was like, I think I'm okay. Little Mama, who's that? Oh, is that someone? Is that Little Kim? Is it? Who is that? Patrick T says, does BJJ purple belt equal black belt in judo? They used to say that for other martial arts back in the day. Now with these fake blue and purple belts, I don't think that no more. All these fake belts in jiu-jitsu, I don't think that no more. But back in the day, they would say a blue belt was like a black belt in other martial arts. But you know, that can't be true no more, because blue belts don't got no conditioning. They don't warm up. They ain't got no technique. Now, blue belt 20, 30 years ago, a blue belt back then was good. A blue belt back in the day was like, God, who is this guy? Because everybody else was white belt. And if you fought a blue belt, you're like, what the heck are they doing? Again, we didn't have social media, no YouTube. I think YouTube might have been pretty new. Actually, I think I started training before YouTube. No, 2004. Yeah, they had he said you got to look with Little Mama. I got to see who that is. LOL Snap, he got a lot of experience, man. Read a little bit. Says I don't follow anything he publishes, but generally is publicly available information. Let me pull up the video one more time so Mushmaster can see. We'll let him look at the video. What is that? Oh, it's right there.
What's up, travelers? Salut Wager. So I believe you can recognize.
We'll watch it one more time so Mushmaster can jump in, see what we're doing.
So I believe you can recognize where I am, Kodokan Center of.
待って、それが世界平和につながる。自身が。
Mr. William.
どういう紹介したらいいかは難しいけど、私はね、ちょうどこの講道館の館長になって16年経ちます。で、もともとはね、日本の柔道を自分で修行したのは、もう本当にいかにオリンピックチャンピオンになるかといって、試合柔道をずっとやってきた自分自身が。
Mr. Uemura is actually so humble that he didn't even mention that he was Olympic champion and world champion with open weight category.
Oh, wow. そ
して選手が終わったらいかにして選手たちをね、オリンピックや世界選手権で勝たすかっていうコーチ業を長いことやった。で、16年前にここのね、後をやりなさいということでここに就任しました。しかし自分がやったのがね、その柔道のね、ほんの一部、これもう試合のね、中で戦う場の一部柔道しか知らないことに気づいた。カノシアンがね作られた柔道ってそんな狭いもんじゃなかったね。世界の人たちにいっぱい柔道を教えて、自分のね人間形成の場として柔道を使いなさい。そしてそこには人がたくさん集まったらそれによって世界平和に貢献するっていうね、やっぱりカノシアンのこの本当のね理念っていうのがやっとここに来て分かった。いや最終的にはね人づくりだし、本当人間形成を作る場だと思ってます。で、柔道を通じてやっぱ世界の人たちと、ね、友達になる。これは今日だってたくさんの外国の人がお見えになってます。普通だって会えない人たち。でもここで会うことによってそれから付き合いが始まって、それが世界平和につながっていくと思う。なんか試合をね、試合を中心にやる時期にそれはやってもいいと思う。そういう柔道っていうのは ね、例えば型をやったり、本当受け身だけやったり、あるいは健康のためにやったり、試合だけのためやったりで、しかし行き着くとこはみんな一緒だ。試合をやった人たちも最終的には自分は修行して、人間のこれを高めていって自分の人格形成をやる。そしてそれをやった時知り合った人たちといっぱい友達を作って、やっぱりそれは世界が広がってくるはずだ。これはね、もう世界の柔道は日本だけのもんじゃない。世界のみんなのために、加納シアンはね、1882年に講道館柔道を作られた。しかし1889年にはもうフランスに柔道普及のために行っておられる。柔道はもうその日本だけのもんじゃなくて、世界の誰もがね、やる柔道っていう、これは文化なんだと。日本だけの文化ではない。もう世界でいう柔道っていう文化なんだと。それを俺たちは正しくね、世界に普及する。そして後世に正しく伝えていくのが私らの仕事だと思ってる。柔道はね、それはこれが一番のルールであるということではない。それより、ね、年代的に、ね、子供たちは子供の使っちゃいけない技やって、ね、使っていい技と分けていかなきゃいけない。危険を排除し、そして、ね、やっぱ正々堂々と戦うっていうのが柔道の根本的原理である。そしてこれね、全日本選手権というのは無差別の試合です。だから60キロの人と150キロの人が戦うこともある。だから当然足をかけてきた、それも持っていい。何でもだからね、自分の最大限に危険な技と卑怯なことをしなかったら、私はやっていいもんだと思ってる。だから国際柔道連盟でね、レッグを攻撃しちゃいけない、取っちゃいけないっていうのは、
You guys want to see why they outlawed those leg grabs? You guys want to see why they outlawed? Yeah, I don't know the belts. Mushmaster, can you tell him what the belts are? He knows the belts better than me. Yeah, when I went to Japan, they were like, "Yeah, you gotta train with the black belts." I was like, no, no, I think I'm good. Let me go wrestle instead, because I was supposed to do wrestling and judo. And I was like, man, I'm not gonna go out there and get tossed. I already knew man. Listen, I already knew Japanese people don't want to lose. They don't want to lose. Nobody wants to lose to. I ain't losing to this foreigner guy. They're gonna paralyze me. Let's look up Rahadi Ferguson. Yeah, Rahadi Ferguson. That's why they outlawed those leg grabs. They saw Rahadi Ferguson and all those Mongolians. They're like, nah, man, we can't. This is when they outlawed it, right after this match. Mushmaster says yellow, white, yellow, orange, green, blue, brown, black. I guess you guys can see it. There's no sound. This is why they outlawed. This is why they outlawed leg grabs. I mean, Roddy was good though. Hey, I want to see Rahadi. I mean, he can't move like that no more. Rahadi versus LOL Snap would be pretty good. No, God. That's why they outlawed that stuff. Woo. You know what? Judo people, they some good athletes, man. They be flying in the air. I remember the first time I saw them judo people fly in the air, because they can't land on their bag. I saw that. I was like, what the heck is that?
Prevenidos, área número 1. Zambotti Vanessa, México. Blanco Giovanna, Venezuela.
God, dog.
Ganador del combate, Honorando Carlos, Brasil. Próximo combate, Despey Giovanni, Cuba. Lama Gabriel, Chile. Prevenidos, Pérez Franklin, República Dominicana. Olson Brian, USA.
On standby match 2, Pérez Franklin, Dominican Republic. Also Ryan, USA.
Hey, they be going full force in judo. Jiu-jitsu, you gently brush against somebody, they start crying. Uh-oh. Are all BJJ black belts? Let me watch this first. Balea, where you at, Balea? Hey. Somehow we started just watching Rahadi Ferguson. Last video.
Hey, what's going on? This is Dr. Roddy Ferguson. I want to put this in digital historical format so that you all understand my belief. I'm under the extreme belief that every black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, once they learn the history of judo and the names of the terms of the techniques and the pins, is a black belt in judo, 100%. Because there are individuals in judo who only know tachiwaza and don't know any newaza. So conversely, you can be a black belt in judo if you only know newaza and not a lot of tachiwaza.
That's us.
There are black belts in judo who only know kata, who've never competed. If you are a quality, high-level newaza specialist, you are still a black belt in judo once you know the history, the names, and the terms of the moves. Hey, what's going on? This is Dr. Roddy Ferguson. I want to put this in digital historical form.
Am I a black belt?
So that you all...
Am I a black belt in judo? Probably not. Probably not. Mushmaster says judo ain't a game. It's all or nothing. And they're going to break or throw. They're going to do whatever it takes to win. And then you got the Kodokan guy. He said, this is for making friends and friendship. And they over there tossing you on your head. LO snap. Let's look at some Instagram real fast. You know I like to jump around. It says the police officer accused of killing jiu-jitsu legend, RIP, Leandro Lo, officially fired from the force. So I believe he was still getting money. That's how corrupt Brazil is. He was still getting paid money, his salary or whatever, while he was locked up. Sad situation, man. Sad situation. So, we over there talking about self-defense earlier, and I'm thinking, man, somebody shoot you, there ain't no more self-defense. Gerald says, BJJ is judo. Yes, I'm a black belt. I'm a judo black belt. Now, I don't believe that. I don't believe I'm a white belt in judo. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay. I'm completely okay with that. I'm okay with being a white belt. It's okay to be a white belt. Says the fight for justice in the case of Leandro Lo has reached a new chapter. Henrique Otavio Oliveira Veloso, the military police lieutenant accused of killing the multiple-time Jiu-Jitsu world champion in 2022, has been officially dismissed from the Sao Paulo military police. Why did it take so long? The dismissal was signed by Governor Tarcisio de Freitas and published in the state's official gazette, citing acts deemed dishonorable and incompatible with police function. So just so you guys know, he shot Leandro Lo in a packed nightclub. People were there to see it. They saw the whole thing. I don't know how you're going to defend that. You can't. It says the crime shocked the martial arts world. Leandro Lo was fatally shot in the back of the head, during an altercation at a Sao Paulo club in August 2022. Witnesses stated that after a brief scuffle, Veloso left the scene and returned armed and fired at Lo before allegedly kicking him while unconscious. Well, he was dead. RIP. I'm sorry to say that. Although dismissed from duty, Veloso remains in preventative custody at the military prison and still faces trial for qualified homicide. Yeah, if he gets out, somebody in Brazil might take him out. The first trial session in August descended into chaos with heated clashes between the defense, prosecutors, and Lo's family representatives. The judge ultimately dissolved the jury panel and referred the defense team to the Bar Association's ethics court. The trial has now been rescheduled for November 12th through the 14th. It's coming up. With the martial arts community hopes to see long-awaited progress in a case that has dragged on for over 3 years. Leandro Lo remains a legend and an 8-time IBJJF world champion and one of the greatest athletes the sport has ever seen. His loss continues to be felt worldwide, and his legacy keeps inspiring generations on and off the mats. Terrible situation. Much Master says, Rahadi and Chris Round gave me my black belt this summer. Okay. Oh, that's awesome, man. You legit, bro. After a few weeks, I got my brown. Then after U.S. Nationals, I got promoted. Gerald says, white belt in judo throws. Nawaza is part of the game too. Nighttime Rose says, no jail time. Human life is nothing in Brazil. He's been in custody. I guess, that might be time served later on, but. And if you guys hear this story, if you hear like the full story, he didn't turn himself. He turned himself in like a day or two later. He went and had some fun, chilled out, took his time. Then he turned himself in. Just sad, man. And you know what? I believe they were fighting over a girl. I mean, because that guy trained. That officer trained. He knew who Leandro Lo was. I think they were fighting over a girl. So let that be a lesson for you guys out there, and girls too. I don't see gender. Every fight not worth it, man. It ain't worth it. And if you're gonna fight somebody, don't turn your back on them. Don't turn your back on them later. You better get out of there. If Leandro got out of there, or if Leandro had knocked that dude out, he would have been still alive. What the heck is this? Oh, I don't need that. Let me see. Translate. I can't see it. It says the United States government has temporarily suspended charging the new extra fee of $250 US for a visa. So my Brazilians gotta pay $250 for their visa to come to America. I think they started that last year, or maybe this year. I don't remember. Maybe it was this year, earlier this year, possibly. It says the rate would go into effect in October 2025, but implementation has been delayed until the State Department finalizes the details. So I guess it didn't go in effect. For the time being, those applying for the visa will only pay the already known fees of $185 without the new charge. So, for the Brazilians to get over here to compete and stuff, they got to pay money. You got to pay to play over here in America. Nighttime says, if you can kill someone in cold blood, then you are a psychopath. Just saying. Well, he was a police officer, military police officer or whatever. That's what they're looking for. You want the psychopath on your team. We got A-Rod over here. She's in Ibiza. They got a pretty star-studded lineup over there. They got Pato, Fion, that girl, I can't remember her name for some reason, A-Rod, Kynan, And Hoffa Mendez. Hoffa, are you bringing the kids to the camp? Because you shouldn't be out there single with all them kids. So it should be pretty cool. We'll see. I wasn't invited. That's a pretty cool place too. I don't get invited to nobody's camp. When I lived in Europe, I would go to camps. Now I live over here. I don't get invited to no camps. Mushmaster, do they invite you to those camps, man? I don't get no invite. They be getting a vacation. They teach a little bit. The last camp I went to, I had to pay for my own flight. And I almost got charged for my hotel. And I didn't get paid. I don't know about that kind of camp. I was like, man, I'm out. I lost money on that camp. Yeah, I paid for my flight. I think it was kind of expensive too. I paid for my flight and food. They did pay for my hotel though. And that was it though. I paid for it. I mean, I think I definitely lost money on that. I definitely lost money. Alex says, good stream. Respect for keeping it up with so few viewers. What do you mean so few viewers? What the hell are you talking about, motherfucker? 100, bro. Listen, streaming's different. Streaming's not like, even good streamers have like 1,000, 3,000, 5,000 people. I get about 200 people. I'm happy. It's good, man. He said, respect for keeping it up with so few viewers. What do you mean so few viewers? Mushmaster says, my black ass ain't getting no invite. They ain't inviting Mushmaster either. They didn't invite Mushmaster to Ibiza. They didn't invite Mushmaster to Norway or Iceland. Nowhere. I want to get the invites too. Yeah. I will say, when I was in Europe, people were like, oh, you should come for a seminar. You should come here, come over there. I go to America. No, nothing over here. Crickets over here. You go to Europe, they're like, man, you do a seminar in my school. Come over here, come over there, come over there. Come to America, nothing. Zip, nothing at all. It's terrible over here. Mushmaster, yeah, why isn't Mushmaster getting invites to all those camps? I guess they don't really do camps in America. They do, Globetrotters would do something in like New Hampshire or Vermont or something. I don't know. You want to go to Vermont, Mushmaster? You want to go to Vermont? Actually, that might be why nobody does camps over here. Mushmaster says, hell no, I couldn't get a trip to Flint, Michigan. Damn, God, dog. Yeah, they don't do no camps out here in America. That's wild. And most people don't even want a seminar. Nighttime World says, it seems like Gordon Ryan only trains local. He doesn't go to camps or travel. Well, he could. He just lazy. He lazy. Gordon lazy. Gordon don't want to travel. He don't. I mean, when Gordon does do seminars, he packs it out. It's packed out. When him or Craig Jones do the seminar, it's packed out. They be full to capacity. I do a seminar about I'm 30 people. I'm doing pretty good. 30 people. I'm like, that ain't terrible. When Gordon Ryan do a seminar, the whole school, they be like sardines in there. Mushmaster says, because I call out racists and scammers. That might be why. Because that's all jiu-jitsu right there. You named 95% of jiu-jitsu right there. They said they can't have Mushmaster over there. Speaking of scammers, we got this guy talking about I be talking about this stuff. Nobody cares. But let's listen to this guy talk about Dana White.
What they've done with the UFC is they've monopolized the sport. And what that creates is the reason that Dana doesn't do those interviews is because he controls the media, right? That's why no one goes to a UFC as a media and asks hard questions. They're all softball questions, right? They're the same questions over and over again. So they control the media and they have a monopoly on the sport. And what happens is this is why you see guys. What was it a couple weeks ago when Pratis was like begging for his friend to get a shot in the UFC? You know, and you see guys like me, I'm guilty of it, where we're like, bro, can I get that $50,000 bonus, man? Please, master.
Yeah. I be telling that. I be saying the same
and
thing.
And that's not the way it's supposed to work, right? And the reason that it doesn't work that way in boxing, you've never heard a single boxer in your lifetime or my lifetime beg the promoter for anything, right? Because of a thing called the Ali Act, which is what the UFC is trying to revise, which actually means destroy. And that's, it's not going to be a good thing. People think it's going to be a good thing, but when you have a single entity controlling rankings, controlling titles, that's not a good thing for boxing. When Dana said this is not a career, this is an opportunity. And that is so wrong. Like looking back on that, I'm like, that is so fucking wrong, bro. So basically what he's saying is, you know, you have the opportunity to use, you know, the UFC brand that we're going to give you to push yourself. And I mean, and I can't hate on it. Like it created opportunity for me, right? Like I'm sitting here doing this podcast because I was a UFC fighter, not because I'm the most interesting man in the world, right? Like that's I get that. But it should be able to be a career. Like you should be able to make retirement money if you're that good of a fighter. Like the whole, Dana also uses this where he says, you know, you eat what you kill. Like that is so false. Like you eat what we give you, right? If Conor goes out and sells 5 million pay-per-views, like he doesn't get what he killed, right? He promotes the shit out of it, does all the media. He doesn't get what he killed. He gets what the UFC says you can have, which might be $10 million, while the UFC takes $100 million, right? Yeah. So how is that eating what you kill? That's Dana eating what you killed. The big issue is what they've done with the UFC is they've monopolized.
We're going to watch that one more time. Let me see a couple comments. Mushmatcher says, my resume is better than most of the people I see online getting clout. Yeah, it is. It is. It is. Nighttime Rose says, do you know that Korean-American jiu-jitsu guy, Kenny Kim? I do know of him. I believe he's going to Vietnam or something. Is he trying to go to Japan too? Unless there's another Kim. I do know a Kenny Kim. Says, I am the immortal, knows what's coming if the Ali Act is destroyed. I mean, I can't help these MMA fighters, bro. I can't help the judo people, and I can't help the MMA people. They'll sit there and let the Ali Act get destroyed by Dana White. And a UFC-style promotion is introduced in boxing. That would be terrible. The fight game might be over at that point. It's not going to be a good thing. People think it's going to be a good thing, but when you have a single entity controlling rankings, controlling titles, controlling all the money, that's not a good thing for boxing. Well, they already do that for MMA. And you guys, Josiah, you can't say everybody's cool. You haven't met the people, man. You need to meet these people first, Josiah. You need to meet these people before you say they cool. I'm not attacking you. I'm just saying in general. Meet people before you say they're cool, because you only know their social media persona. You're not sitting there talking to them for 3 hours. Ali Act won't die. Well, they're gonna try. They're gonna try. In fact, I wish we had the Ali Act for the MMA people. Someone says, we will all come back to this and say he was right years down the line. I mean, it ain't rocket science, people. It ain't no rocket science over here. Says that's why the UFC is successful. It's not only about fighters' purse. There are so many staff working behind the scenes to make things work. So please be grateful. Be grateful for the fact that you're putting your life on the line for these people. They're getting paid. They're getting paid. The only person not getting paid is you, the fighter. And you the product. You over there, your career shorter than everyone else, but you making less money overall. You would make more money just working for the UFC as a production person or in some other staff role. You would make way more money. They make more money than the fighters. And their salaries, they got more consistent money. Josiah says, you're right. I'm wrong sometimes. Mushmaster says, most of these people aren't cool in person. Yeah. When you meet these people and you're like, man, get me out of here. get me the hell out of here. I hate these people. You beat Ella Snap, what's up? Yeah, you meet these people like, man, what the? I don't know what's going on. Something's beeping. Somebody's cutting grass. Yeah, most of these people aren't cool in person. Yeah. LL Snap says, had to finish stairs. You guys know LL Snap got to do about 3 hours on the stairs. He be doing the stairs during the whole live stream. Bro, that Cuban experiment over there, it worked. Be grateful for what we give you. That's what the UFC wants you to be like. It says UFC have no history in boxing. Why? It says you don't make UFC great and use boxing to become big. I don't know what that means. It says there are just as many people working a boxing event, yet the boxers make way better money, better pay than UFC fighters that are on the same level as the boxers. Terrence Crawford tried to tell you guys. It says the best UFC fighters and champions at heavyweight make far less per fight than the best boxing heavyweight champion today. And even 20 years ago, UFC purses have not kept up with anything. They still ain't making $100,000. Most of them fighters. That should be criminal. Dana White is possibly the greatest crook in the history of combat sports. I believe it. So the UFC is not as successful as boxing. There are multiple boxing promotions that are more valuable than the UFC, and every top boxer makes more money than everyone who competes in the UFC. One boxing match paid 2 fighters in one fight what the entire UFC roster earns in a year. And that's the UFC's fault. Well, if the UFC didn't put everybody out of business, it could have been like that. It says the purse should be more. End of story. 12-5 for 3 fights each is nothing. Not after taxes and 50% to coaches. Unacceptable. Anybody that defends the UFC, I know they ain't right. Mushmaster says fans have no empathy for these athletes. Yeah, they don't care about the athletes. Same thing in jiu-jitsu. They don't care about you. They want to see your leg get broken. They don't care about you. They don't care if you got health insurance. They don't care if you get that fixed. They don't care if you make enough money to feed your family and take care of yourself. They don't care. It says, but when they have issues with their pay at their job, they get upset. But then they get upset when you get upset that you're not getting paid. LL Snap says, I do 1 hour a day. I have to burn 1,200 calories so I can eat. God, dog. How you burn 1,200 calories? How fast are you going on that stair climber? He says, what coach is charging 50%? That's what the new UFC coaches are charging. That's the UFC coach you get from the Performance Institute or whatever. I don't know. He says, Michael charged me 5%. Yeah, but you made money back in those days. They had to up the percentage because the fighters weren't making enough money. Yeah, but what's 10% of $12,000? What's 5%? $1,200? They got to up that percentage. The coaches were like, we ain't making no money because the fighters ain't making no money. The fight game's screwed, bro. It says fighters still won't union. It says the funny part is that fighters still won't unionize. And if the Ali Act goes away, you think Uncle Dana is going to be fair to them? Dana don't care about you. It says fighters cannot unionize legally. That's not true. How so? As in it's in their contract or it's against the laws of Vegas. It says UFC fighters face major obstacles to unionizing because they are classified as independent contractors rather than employees, which legally blocks union formation under current federal law. And you guys know Daddy Dana is friends with Trump, so you're probably never going to be able to unionize. Since the National Labor Relations Act, NLRA, grants union rights mostly to employees. So unless fighters successfully challenge their status, unionization efforts will be denied by the National Labor Relations Board. It says what you're talking about isn't the fact that it's illegal to form a union, but the fact that the UFC uses a systematic categorization. They label you a, private contractor or whatever. Most UFC fighters, when you ask them what they do, they say, I'm a UFC fighter. That's their employment, right? That's their employment. I'm a UFC fighter. That's their employment. There's always a workaround against, just because there's something written in your contract, there's going to be some workarounds, usually. Says the UFC uses a systematic categorization to make it harder. It would be illegal for them to not let you unionize, but again, that would take the fighters all refusing to work to force the UFC's hand. And those fighters, I told you they're making performance institutes in Africa, in China, in Mexico, so they can pay those fighters less. And those fighters are going to be happy for less. Some of them fighters will fight for $1,000. And you over there trying to get 50,000, 100,000, they'll just replace you with somebody from Africa, someone from Mexico, someone from China. They good. All right, see ya. Now you can't fight nowhere because UFC put everybody out of business. LL Snap says you have to have your heart rate up into the 170s. Uh-oh. God, dog. And maintain it to burn close to 1,200 calories. I normally run the stairs on 8. On 8? God, how long do you do that for? An hour? 3 hours? How long are you doing that for, man? Nighttime World says, what kills me is Dana White was a boxing promoter. He knows how much people should be getting paid. Dana White corrupt. Josiah says, what does independent contractor even mean? Well, you typically, from what I know, I don't know that much, but you don't get the same benefits as a employee. Things like, you're not supposed to get the same rights as an employee, retirement, some other stuff. Usually they don't pay the taxes for private contractors too, or independent contractors. So you usually are supposed to pay your own taxes. If you're employed, you get a W-2, they take out those taxes for you. Or, if you're an independent contractor, they don't do that for you. So you're supposed to do that for yourself. Nighttime World says, did Conor McGregor get more money fighting Mayweather with that fake boxing match they had? Yeah. That's the only time he made some real money. That's the only time he made it was boxing. So if you guys were smart, you wouldn't fight in the UFC. You go beat up an influencer. You make more money fighting an influencer than a real fighter. So I wonder what the future of MMA will be. Maybe some of the, people in America might get priced out. Like, it just doesn't make sense to fight anymore. So they bring in people from developing countries to fight. So yeah, the rich watching the poor fight. This is nothing new. So it would take litigation to force the UFC to hire them as employees first. If they pass that hurdle, they could unionize. I think they could. I'm sure there's some workarounds. It says you cannot unionize if you're an independent contractor. You have to be an employee. It says they're independent contractors. They don't have the same rights as employees, but they are employees. I think for all intents and purposes, they are employees. Conor made $100 million, but UFC took a cut. Why did they take a cut? It says Jake Paul WWE. I wonder how much he makes. Jake Paul making some good money. I think Tank's supposed to make $200 million with this fight with Jake Paul. So we'll see. It says agreed. Yeah, right. But again, this is what Unity does. Obviously, to get to that change, they're going to have to do something about it because UFC isn't going to do without the goodness of their hearts. Yeah, that's true. And one day decide that they're not independent contractors. Obviously, it would be a bunch of contracts, yes. But in the United States, for now, anyway, you cannot union bust. Yeah, here's someone defending UFC. Let me read what they got to say. LO Snap says, you're a private contractor because you're negotiating a deal, but still the UFC owns your name and likeness. How are you a private contractor and they own everything about you? And they control all your monetary options. They control your sponsors, they control your name and likeness. They control who you fight. They worse than an employer. What kind of employer got all this control over you? And as an independent contractor, you ain't got no protection, no rights, no protection. They abusing the system. Let's listen to him one more time.
Is the sport, and what that creates is the reason that Dana doesn't do those interviews is because he controls the media, right? That's why like no one goes to a UFC as a media and asks hard questions. They're all softball questions, right? They're the same questions over and over again. So they control the media and they have a monopoly on the sport. And what happens is this is why you see guys. What was it a couple weeks ago when Pratis was like begging for his friend to get a shot in the UFC, you know, and you see guys like me, I'm guilty of it, where we're like, bro, can I get that $50,000 bonus, man? Please, master. And that's not the way it's supposed to work, right? And the reason that it doesn't work that way in boxing, you've never heard a single boxer in your lifetime or my lifetime beg the promoter for anything, right? Because of a thing called the Ollie Act, which is what the UFC is trying to revise, which actually means destroy. And it's not going to be a good thing. People think it's going to be a good thing, but when you have a single entity controlling rankings, controlling titles, that's not a good thing for boxing. When Dana said this is not a career, this is an opportunity. And that is so wrong. Like looking back on that, I'm like, that is so fucking wrong, bro. So basically what he's saying is, you know, you have the opportunity to use, you know, the UFC brand that we're going to give you to push yourself. And I mean, and I can't hate on it. Like it created opportunity for me, right? Like I'm sitting here doing this podcast because I was a UFC fighter, not because I'm the most interesting man in the world, right? Like that's I get that. But it should be able to be a career. Like you should be able to make retirement money if you're that good of a fighter. Like the whole Dana also uses this where he says, you know, you eat what you kill. Like that is so false. Like you eat what we give you. Right? If Conor goes out and sells 5 million pay-per-views, like he doesn't get what he killed. Right? He promotes the shit out of it, does all the media. He doesn't get what he killed. He gets what the UFC says you can have, which might be $10 million, while the UFC takes $100 million. Right? Yeah. So how is that eating what you kill? That's Dana eating what you killed. The big issue is what they've done with the UFC is they've monopolized.
Someone said, let me read a couple comments. Danny Thomas says, a lot of peeps, my bad about being sporadic. It's all good, man. Life, take care of your real life, man. This is for fun. This is for entertainment purposes. Life is a bit rough. On a lighter note, though, my first judo comp was something else. We got a lot of judoka over here. Am I becoming the hub of judo and wrestling and jiu-jitsu? That might be the future of the live stream. LL Snap says, I only run the stairs for 1 hour. The fact that you're running the stairs on level 8, that's pretty tough. Then I think the cooldown is 15 to 20 minutes, so it's about an hour and 20 altogether, and you burn 1,200 calories. That's crazy. Someone says there's also such a thing as too many cooks in the kitchen. Having a single entity gives us more focused events, and more value for fight fans. Is it more value? You can only watch one. So having less options gives you more value? Okay. Does that sound right, people? Before you had UFC, Strikeforce, Pride, WEC, you had some good events, man. You could watch whatever you wanted to watch. The pricing wasn't no $80 for pay-per-view. It was probably $50 or something, $45, $50. This person crazy. They also say, I'd be willing to shell out $80 for pay-per-view with a stacked card. You can't get no stacked card no more because they doing too many events. Says, you just don't get that in boxing too often. The majority of UFC cards have at least 3 fights you're dialing in. That ain't true. Dialing in for, and a couple on the prelim cards. I'm all for fighter pay, but you have to move the needle and draw in viewers to justify it. You got to justify getting paid. I know we made you guys $7 billion, but you got to justify us giving you more of that money. That's the UFC's chill right there. LL Snap says, at this point, they are all beating a dead horse because when Randy and Ken and Tito tried to get us all to walk out, not just the UFC, but all the other organizations as well, no one did it. Yeah, well, that might have been, that was, yeah, I didn't know about that. Randy Couture, Ken Shamrock, and Tito, yeah, they should have, they would have had, man, if they had just listened and did what those guys did, the UFC, all of them fighters would be eating good. They would have retirement, 401k, benefits. Man. LL Snap says, now that they're retired, they're all crying. That's sad, man, yeah. I wish I was around. Well, the social media wasn't what it was back then. I wish I could have helped back then. Mushmaster says, bro, some of the comments on those posts are bots or UFC funded. Says it doesn't have to be a private company, pretty much dysregulated like the UFC. It can be just like any other major sports like the NBA, NFL, Premier League, with structural regulations enforced where, yes, there is a single organizing entity. There are tons of different clubs and companies within the system. The Ali Act regulates boxing, and only reason it's not in MMA is MMA wasn't even legal sport itself in many states until very recently. The way MMA fighters are being treated in terms of pay and benefits compared to other professional athletes is just beyond words. A mid-soccer player in the Premier League is guaranteed to make millions each year of their contract without having to worry about a single injury jeopardizing their whole career and financial stability. Can you say anything like that in the UFC? And fighters aren't just a bunch of dudes fighting in their free time. It's an entire career that requires so much time and money to have what it takes to compete at the top. So for Dana White to say that fighting's not a career and you dedicated yourself to wrestling and boxing and judo and jiu-jitsu for, by the time you're in the UFC, you've been training for hopefully close to a decade or so, half a decade to a whole decade or longer for the, the Olympic people. And they're going to sit there and say, it's not a profession. It's not a career. Mushmaster says, I don't feel bad for fighters. They have options like getting a job. That's true. But fighting is a job, though. It is a job. Anything you're putting time and effort into, and you should be being compensated for, is a job. Yeah, well, it seems like they messed up back in the day with the whole unionization. LL Snap says, I'm just sick of all of them crying because at this point we know what it is and people are still signing up for it thinking that they're going to be that 1 in a million. Yeah. Unfortunately, and you know what? The jiu-jitsu people just falling right into there. It says they refuse to unionize. Well, it's because of their greed and, just the mentality, everybody's in it for themselves, They just in it for themselves. Same thing in jiu-jitsu. So when these guys go to UFC, BJJ, and I'm like, look at the regular fighters getting screwed over. And you guys don't think you're gonna get screwed over too? You guys gonna keep making maybe $10,000, maybe? I don't know how much they're getting paid. And you know what? If I don't really trust Mikey to negotiate for nobody, even himself. He probably got screwed over too. So yeah, I mean, I can't keep beating this argument too much. LL Snap says, hey, it says jiu-jitsu people need to start going after their IBJF, who is number one, and all the rest of these companies because you guys are literally training 60 hours for nothing as a black belt. Yeah. And we paying money to go out there for nothing. All these black belts be competing and giving money for years and decades. You ain't got nothing from IBJF. You might get a t-shirt. That's the only thing you're going to get from IBJF. Paid my membership every year. Ain't got nothing for it. Much says, you're not entitled to be rich following your dream. That's true. If you want to, you got to put in the work or quit. That's true. But they still got to be compensated fairly, which they haven't been. That's why they keep getting sued. That's why they keep... It's different. It's different if you're working hard and, things aren't working out. But if you made it into the UFC, that's the highest level, right? You made it to the UFC and you still getting screwed over and they're doing it knowingly, that's not right either. LL Snap says, and people ask, why won't I compete in these tournaments? Because they don't pay. I'm a prize fighter. Keyword is prize. Much says they're goofy. Facts. Says the world doesn't matter if you can't feed. That is true. World doesn't matter if you can't feed yourself. And IBJF, that's IBJF's fault for a lot of those fighters. But yeah, we don't have to participate. That's true. We do not have to participate. And they're going to see a lot of those guys. Look at Mayram. He going no-gi. Pato going no-gi. Baby Shark no-gi. I mean, some of these guys still do gi. But a lot. Mika Galval, all no-gi. I think that trend might continue the way it's going. Because IBJF's just too slow. They're not really adapting. They're still trying to promote the crown. Nobody cares about the crown event. Pay people for the tournaments they're doing already. Pay people for Europeans. Pay people for Pans. Yeah, you gotta fly yourself to California. Airbnb, hotel, rental car. You losing money. Even if you win worlds. Say you got $8,000. You won worlds, black belt worlds. Congrats. You out a couple $1,000 already. Plane, the flight to LA, Airbnb, that's not terrible. Rental car, food. That's at least $2,000, $2,500, $3,000, depending on how long you stay there. 8,000 minus 3,000, 5,000. You got to pay taxes. How much you got to pay on that? I don't know. Save another 1,000 or 1,200 for the taxes. You got about $4,000. You pay maybe $3,000 or $4,000. You've been training all year for that to make $3,000 or $4,000. You can't even get $50,000 from IBJF. I mean, I think the highest prize they give is $40,000. But even $40,000 ain't you ain't living high and mighty on $40,000. You might pay your rent. That's it. You paid your rent and got your car. That's it. You still going hungry. We got Alex over here. What she got to say?
Official. A new season had begun. After all, seasons change. So do cities. People come into your life and people go. But it's comforting to know the ones you love are always in your heart. And if you're very lucky, a plane ride away. It was official. A new season had begun.
Shout out to Alex. She doing it. LL Snap says, I won't entertain it. You think I'm about to risk a body that took me a lifetime to build for a 50-cent trophy and stand on a Home Depot bench? And IBJF makes money, man. They make some good money. Now, they don't want to give you none of that money.
And if you're a guard puller, your boyfriend also doesn't care. Competition is a tool that makes you better. You go out there, test yourself, you see what's working, see what's not, and then you go back to the lab, sharpen your weapons, strengthen your armor, and do it back again, until you become the baddest motherfucker in the game. Oos! Bro, competing is not that deep. What are you afraid of? That you lose? Nobody cares. Not even your girlfriend cares. And if you're a guard puller, your boyfriend also doesn't care. Competition is a tool that makes you better. You go out there, test yourself, you see what's working, see what's not, and then you go back to the lab, Sharpen your weapons, strengthen your armor, and do it back again until you become the baddest motherfucker in the game. Us! Bro, competing is not that deep. What are you afraid of? That you lose? Nobody cares. Not even your girlfriend cares. And if you're a guard puller, your boyfriend also doesn't care.
Hey, that's how LL Snap talking about us pulling guard. It says monthly women's self-defense class. I have mixed feelings about most self-defense classes. Can't play that music, but Tom the Blast says, nope, this isn't the way. Teaching bogus self-defense is a fast track to getting people hurt. I'd gladly train with anyone who I speak out against if they wanted to prove me wrong. This is irresponsible. I don't think it's necessarily wrong. What is she wearing? She was not prepared to. Well, look, all right, what the heck was she wearing? I'm not trying to shame her. Okay, this not too bad. Yeah. Okay, that might not work. Okay, they're not going to be able to fight nobody off. I'm not victim shaming or blaming. Okay, yeah, maybe they're right. Well, at least they're learning to fight. Fight back. Okay, now she not okay. She not gonna do much. Look at them knees. Throw them knees, girl. Throw them. Yeah, go. Okay, that might not work in real life. But most things don't work in real life. Most people can't go to gas out in 3 seconds. We're gonna watch that again because what was that girl wearing over there? That was not proper attire for that class. I can't talk about what people wear, but man, there's a proper attire for your self-defense class.
Ladies or men, you're not learning self-defense here. This is just a false sense of security. If you do this
from King of the Hill,
you're going to get crushed. There's a lot of snake oil out there. There's a lot of people selling self-defense when they couldn't defend themselves against a 15-year-old blue belt, and that's the truth.
Hey, none of us can defend ourselves against a 15-year-old blue belt.
What is his resume?
But
what has he done? He doesn't need to be a competitor, but how knowledgeable is he? Because this is going to get people hurt.
All right, people, what was this girl wearing? Is this proper attire? Am I a boomer? Balea, what's up, man? You missed some good talk already. We've been talking about UFC and judo. LL Snap says, see here, this guy go. That's the problem we have. Let jiu-jitsu organizations tell us the only way for us to get better is to compete and spend money on the competition. Yeah. And they got a ranking, IBJF got that ranking system, so you got to keep competing so you can sign up for their tournaments so you can pay, so you can compete some more. It's a Ponzi scheme. They got us, everybody. They got us. I got to compete. I got to pay to compete so I can pay to compete in other tournaments. IBJF got us, man. We got to put them out of business. LL Snaps says, to be honest, most open mats are better than competition because every time I show up, they pull out and I get a free medal. Well, they look at you. All right, let me go ahead and jump out of this division. Balea says 15-year-old blue belts be crazy. Yeah, 15-year-old blue belt's scary. You know how scary? Where's that 50? It doesn't matter where that kid is from. Brazil, America, Europe. That kid gonna be good. It's hard to fight off a 15-year-old blue belt. They got cardio for days, Gumby joints. They're gonna be doing some crazy stuff and jumping around you. Let me watch this one more time. I'm just like, what was this girl wearing? Can't play that music though. She was fighting, but what was she wearing, bro? Yeah, I learned this in karate class. Yeah. I mean, strike. Oh, all right. That groin shot might take us out though. That groin shot. Is that what they be wearing in yoga class? Is that what they be wearing? Why did she pull guard? She does jiu-jitsu. No. She a jiu-jitsu girl. But what's she wearing over there? What's going on with her pants over there? What's going on right there? What's going on with the... Why the jiu-jitsu girl had to pull guard like that? That's terrible. Don't pull guard in that self-defense situation. You should have stayed up. Mr. The humblest man in jiu-jitsu had to speak up. Says it was probably a 1-hour seminar for completely newbies. Assuming that I think these women on the video shows some aggression and willingness to fight, which is about all you can hope for. There's no system or technique That's an hour seminar. It's going to teach where the participants, especially regular moms, are going to learn, retain, and able to execute in real situations. The best instructor in the world couldn't have ran this seminar, and the ladies will still look like this after an hour. Is this a false hope? Yes, but maybe the goal was to get them more interested in learning more and signing up for classes. Possibly. Patrick T says he saw what I was seeing. I was like, what the heck is going on over there? Is that proper? You know she got a wedgie. You know she got a wedgie. You know she had to be fair, she did have her pants pulled up, you know. I'm just making fun. Yeah, I mean I already said, you know, I'm kind of on the fence on self-defense because, you know, some people will be doing the knife defense, the gun defense. She shouldn't have pulled guard though. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're looking at that we're looking at it again. I'm just, you know, I'm on the fence about self-defense, especially for the ladies. I don't know. But yeah, it's not much you can teach in 1 hour. We got Mr. Marcelo Garcia.
How you do the shoulder crunch with the gi. Imagine like I have a full butterfly sweep set up over here, but then if I feel I don't have this arm to continue and finish the butterfly sweep, that same on the hook, I'm gonna go in the back of his collar over here.
Marcelo,
and I'm gonna make my both grips very close one to the other. And then from here, I'm gonna hold his arm very close to me, just like if I was doing the shoulder crunch. But because I have the gi, I'm gonna use the lapel grip, and then I'm gonna hold it super tight. Can you rotate? And then with this grip over here, guys, I'm gonna just prepare to push this knee and guide him to the ground. And I can stay on the side control or even step to a mount position. So imagine I have the underhook. I don't have the butterfly guard. This grip goes on the back of the collar. Second hand gets together. I don't let his arm drop. I keep this arm really high over here. From here, I kick and I lift with the other butterfly hook. And it's stay on top.
That's pretty cool.
Just a very strong variation for who likes to do the shoulder crunch. Now we can do with the gi with excellent control. This is how you do the shoulder crunch with
That's
the
cool.
gi.
It's Moneyberg showed her how to strike. Yeah, Moneyberg. That's the Moneyberg striking. Marcelo showed me shoulder crunch in 2009, but he didn't call it that. So many moves didn't have names until Dan here came around. He's like, let me just rename this move. But shoulder crunch has been around forever. You know, Marcelo, he always did the shoulder crunch and that arm bar, that arm lock from Butterfly. You know, he gets on the elbow. So yeah, basically everybody just stealing from Marcelo, basically. Sarah McMahon, what's going on, Sarah?
So guys, this Saturday, September 27th, I will be in Hawaii at the Alliance BJJ Hawaii, and I will be doing a wrestling seminar from 9 to 11:30 a.m. I will be weaving in sports psychology topics into the wrestling techniques so I can improve your game fully all around in all aspects. You don't want to miss it, so be sure to live in Hawaii and come to my seminar, or get a flight to Hawaii. This is a fantastic excuse to come to this gorgeous island and get better in your wrestling. So guys, this Saturday, September 27th.
If you guys don't know Sarah McMahon, she is a silver medalist in freestyle wrestling, and she fought in the UFC. I believe she fought Ronda. She says, don't miss this awesome opportunity to grow mentally and physically in your game. I will be sharing techniques that fueled my success in World Olympic and MMA competitions, both in coaching and my own career. Also, she's a Laura's coach, if you guys don't know that. I absolutely love to share the knowledge I have acquired in over 30 years of competitive combat sports. She's very competitive. I also love working for a great cause, since Kaizen Grappling Foundation will use the proceeds to provide scholarships to those who are unable to train otherwise. Start your wrestling session in the right foot, or your wrestling season in the right foot. That's going to be at Alliance BJJ Hawaii. So if you guys over there, go check it out. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. I might need to try that out. We got Daddy over here. What's she doing? Baby, what we finna do? Yeah, she trained with Marcelo. Well, her husband's a black belt too, but she did train with Marcelo. Can't play that music. Daddy said it best. Champions aren't built by medals. They're built by showing up as students again and again. What up? What up, Daddy? You know, I like Adele. She's got good technique, and you know, the girls don't really have as much drama as the guys. Have you noticed that, Balea? The girls seem to, I mean, there's still drama, but they seem pretty chill with each other. Bro, I'm not going to get through everything. It's impossible. Look, all these tabs open up. Let me come over here. We talked about Kodokan. What else we got over here? Judo, we talked about that. Judo, we talked about that. I don't care about the wrestling right now. It says, what would you add or take away from these purple belt checklists? Let's see what they got on here. Can you guys see? Oh, now you guys can for sure see. Woo! It says gi purple belt checklist. So it looks like we talked about kind of checklist belt testing yesterday. It says stand up takedowns, collar grip to foot sweep. D Ashri Barai. Says collars. I don't know what that one is. Collar plus sleeve, Osotogari. Okay, I got mixed up. Collar plus sleeve, Ochigari. Collar drag, back take. Okay, Seo Nagi, Ippon Niseo. Uchimata with gi grips, and Tomonagi with gi grips. Okay, that's not bad. For purple belt, yeah. That's not bad, yeah. Guard system from close, hip bump sweep, scissor sweep. It's kind of old school, though. Scissor sweep, flower, pendulum sweep, cross collar choke, armbar triangle, umaplata, loop choke, guillotine from guard. Okay, that's pretty standard stuff. LL Snap says, I'm becoming more of a fan of the girls, to be honest. See, we changed him. We changed Josiah. Now we changed LL Snap. Now we just got to fix Marley. I don't know if we can fix Marley. Marley kind of wild. He a wild child. It says guard systems, open guard, sleeve collars. It says spider guard, lasso. So spider lasso plus sweep. Spider guard, triangle, umaplata, de la Hiva, tripod sweep. That's old school. Tripod sweep. Tripod sweep. De la Hiva, Berimbolo, back take. That's cool. Lapel guards, worm entries. Okay, that's cool. That ain't bad. I like that. Guard systems from half guard, knee shield, underhook sweep. Where you bring them across your body. Okay. Deep half guard, waiter sweep, half guard, lapel, wrap attacks. Is that like the single leg stuff with the lapel? Back take from half guard. Okay. A couple back takes from half guard. Passing systems, Toriando, bullfighter pass. Okay. Leg drag pass, knee cut pass, over under pass, double underhook pass, smash pass, stack pass. Okay. That's pretty solid. That's solid techniques. I hope purple belts know. Now, if you're a purple belt, you don't know none of that. All right. LL Snap says, my list is way different than that. What's on your list, bro? This is a blue belt test for us. Everybody's like, I do more than that. All right, I'm going to test you guys. I'm going to test all you guys, see if you guys know that stuff. Says submissions from top, cross collar choke from mount. Okay, bow and arrow from the back. Ezekiel choke. Paper cutter choke. Okay, baseball bat choke. Arm triangle choke, Kimura trap. Okay, that's not bad. That's some good stuff. It could be a blue belt test. I mean, usually with these tests, they just ask you more variations. It says submissions from guard, cross collar, loop choke, triangle choke, armbar, omoplata, collar drag to back take. Okay, back control, seatbelt control, bow and arrow, sliding collar choke. What's sliding? Just a regular cross collar choke. Armbar from the back, lapel traps from the back. Escapes, you got mount, trap and roll. That's old school. Elbow escape, side control, frame and hip escape. Underhook to half and turtle. Back 2-on-1, hand fight, shoulder scrape. Turtle, sit out, Granby, guard recovery, leg lock defense, basic IBJF legal, straight ankle, knee bar if allowed. Transitions, guard retention, spider to lasso to de la Hiva. Okay, that's pretty good. Collar sleeve to triangle omoplata cycle. Cross collar choke to armbar chain. Yeah, that's pretty good. Guard to sweep to pass to mount to back. Finish awareness. Lapel guard transitions. Worm, squid, lapel, lasso. You said that's on your blue belt test? Well, it depends on the school. I think that's okay for purple. Honestly, that's a lot for blue belt. Honestly, that's a lot for blue belt. And you know that'll take an hour. That might, depending on who you're testing, that might take an hour. And people might fail that test. I've seen people fail belt tests before. But listen, once you, I mean, past purple belt, do you really need to take a test anymore? Like, I feel like after purple belt, you don't really need to test. You know everything. That's everything in jiu-jitsu at that point. What else you doing in jiu-jitsu after that? They got some more stuff? Oh, they got no-gi. I ain't going over no-gi. We ain't going over no-gi. They got more stuff. That looks all right, man. That looks all right. That could be blue belt. I think that's a little bit too much for blue belt. Bushmaster says, I knew that at blue belt. Well, you ain't a regular blue belt. You weren't a regular blue belt. You're a world-class athlete. They had a no-gi one too. Says a lot of this stuff is gi. Says I like that there's a transition and strategy section. LO Snap says I feel like you should start learning heel hooks and heel hook defense at white belt. Well, it depends. The thing with white belts is that they forget everything. You can show them heel hooks, they forget everything. They're gonna forget everything the next month. Patrick says the lapel stuff is not on blue. Balea says, dang, you just gave me teaching curriculum for the next 2 years. Patrick T says, going back to the book Jiu-Jitsu University, purple is define and refine your guard. Well, that would be, from what I saw, that would be purple belt. You know, I felt like that was a little bit more, you know, more specific. You know, blue belt, I feel like you need the more foundational stuff. The takedown stuff is good. The basics, I would just keep blue belt super basic. They don't need to have, they're not super defined or refined at that point. Now, at purple belt, they should have a better understanding of the art form, you know, mastery of the basics. And of course, you said the guard. Brown belt should be more complete person, complete grappler. And then black belt, I mean, you know what a black belt is, hopefully. And anything not Moneybird, basically. LL Snap says the average blue belt could not complete all this crap. Yeah. I'm like, I know the level of most people. Most blue belts can't do most of that. That was too much. And purple belt, I feel like purple belt should have most of that stuff down. There might be a couple questions. Brown belt should have that, and then black belt should be nothing for a black belt. Someone says, "Welp, I better hand my belt back." And yeah, if you're Reddit, you've got to give it back. Says much better system when coaches just watch their students train, develop their own game, and grade on attendance and progress. The thing is, that's a lot of work. Imagine you got 50 people. You think your coach can keep track of 50 different people in their game and their styles and their development? That's tough. Now you go to the bigger schools. You got 300 members. It ain't possible to keep track of everybody in their game, their development. Of course, the outliers will stand apart, but then you need to be tracking everybody. Balea says a white belt is just a white belt who needs to give up. I think he did a good job. I feel like he did a better job at this CJI. He says people turning on the money burger. They should have been turning on him the whole time. I mean, anybody that was defending him, Mikey backtracked. Anybody that was defending him was suspect to me. I was like, man, if you see anybody defending Moneyberg, don't trust them. LL Snap says brown belt is the most useless belt. I call it the money gate. Now, brown belt is when life starts to attack you. You need that belt. You need brown belt. It's like, all right, am I really serious about this? Because I think it would be way easier if you had purple belt. Really good, most people are pretty good at purple belt, and then they go right to black belt. That could be possible, but you need that belt where life is beating you down. That's where brown belt is usually. LL Snap says most of them going to quit after they get their blue belt anyway. That's true. That is true. Most people quitting at white belt nowadays. They can't make it to blue belt. Yeah, I'm gonna keep moving forward. Look at all these. You guys can see all my tabs. I got a lot of tabs. Belay says, not gonna lie, just ordered a Money Burger rash guard and socks. You gonna wear them for who's number one? Where are you gonna wear that at? Be careful. He might try to sue you. That's why I've been quiet on Money Burger. I haven't been talking about him too much. I think they got to send you a cease and desist first before they sue you. We got Miss Amit Elor. Can't play that music. Blaze says, Patrick T says, brown is the color of sandpaper. Smooth out the rough edges. That's true. It is hard to look cool with the brown belt on, though. Balea says, if purple belt Balea's body had black belt Balea's technique, I'd be a bad white belt. Danny Chopper says, dang out, that brown belt meaning feels like an attack. It's true. It's like life attacks you at brown belt. Life attacking you. Is because jiu-jitsu is not just about the skill. You gotta be able to defend yourself in life. Life be attacking you, girlfriend, kids, school, work, everything be attacking you at brown belt. You're like, man, am I really gonna stick with this? Leg locks, you gotta start learning leg locks. You went your whole career, you didn't learn no leg locks. Yeah, you get the brown belt. All right, they can do everything to you now. Brown belt rough, bro. Brown belt rough, bro. What is Dana White talking about? Oh, Smashing Machine. I might need to go see that movie. When does it come out? Next month? Next week? I might go see that Smashing Machine. The 3rd. Where's my calendar at? It is next week. Okay, I might go see that. Mushmatcher says, brown belt made me go crazy. It made me go crazy. Because, life easy at purple belt. I mean, white belt, you chilling at white belt. Blue belt, okay, blue belt get a little tough. Purple belt, man, you're like, I got this. Brown belt, life be kicking you down. Oh, I don't know if I got this no more. Then black belt, you kind of make your way to black belt. You're like, okay, I made it. You got to go through some stuff at brown belt.
Smashing Machine, getting a lot of love, a lot of buzz, even Oscar mentions right now. And of course, it focuses on Mark Kerr, former MMA fighter and UFC fighter. Have you had a chance to see it yet? What are your thoughts on the film itself?
Yeah, so The Rock flew out to Vegas and showed it to me first.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it's unbelievable. And believe me when I tell you, I'm not here to sell the Smashing Machine. I tell you straight up,
You're
I
always
don't like a lot of the
like
fight movies. This is a great movie, and everybody involved, including the director, does a great job.
We've been talking a lot about the Smashing Machine.
He said, I don't like a lot of fight movies because they probably make you look bad. LOL Snap says, I did all my damage when I was a brown belt. They put me in the dungeon. That's where you're supposed to go. They banned. Why is that still there? They banned me from white belt classes. I can only teach Cubans. Yo, you wild. The list goes on and on. Got banned from Alliance. The only other person that got banned from Alliance? Do you want to guess who the only other person that got banned from Alliance is? I'll tell you, but I'll let you guess real fast. Patrick T says, Alec, you finished your video for BJJ Mental Models? Thanks for reminding me. I'm working on that. I think you said you were working on something. I've been working on that for a couple of months. I've been working on that for months. And then somebody always posts on my other channel, man, why don't you post videos? I'm like, man, I want to slap somebody. I'm like, I am working on it. It takes time to do all that research and gotta come out with the script and everything. That ain't no easy stuff. Finding the clips, gotta edit. Danny Chopper says, low key, purple belt was really rough for me, but part of that was it was a weird period in my life. I only trained on Saturdays and Sundays since I couldn't afford it. Danny Chopper says, brown belt definitely catching up though. Don't worry, brown belt will beat you up. I'm gonna go watch that Smashing Machine. I'll let you guys know about it tomorrow, next week. It says Vogue challenge by Judo. We got some Judo influencers now. She looking at Mushmaster. That's who she looking at. She looking at Mushmaster. She's like, come on. She waiting for you to throw her. Hello. You know, Mushmaster might get himself a little judo girl. He said, screw those jiu-jitsu girls. I'm gonna get myself a judo girl. Go ahead, Mushmaster. I ain't gonna hold it against you, man. They got some cute judo girls. We got Mr. Lovato. He says, throwback to when you could see my face on billboards and double-decker buses across London. So I always forget that Lovato was a Bellator champion. He had to vacate his title, though. Oh, that's cool. People forget about what you accomplished, though. That's how life is. Kenta, I'm skipping Kenta. Sorry, Kenta. Got Victoria out there. What you doing, Victoria? Who you shooting guns with? All right, I better leave her alone. She can shoot me. Patrick T says he will get swept off his feet. Who, Mushmaster? We got any more Reddit? Let's see. Oh, ooh, that's a good story. I'll get back to that. I'm going to skip BJ Penn. Talking about brown belts, it says my dad just got promoted to brown belt and he's not happy about it. Is that whose dad is this? Says, or whose son is this? Or whose kid is this? Says, I apologize for the long post, but any advice would be greatly appreciated. Says, for context, my dad has been training for over 10 years, but he's getting older. He's in his mid-60s, and to be honest, he is slowing down a bit. He hasn't competed in a while, but he still trains every day. He is still in love with the sport, and it's super important. And it's a super important aspect in his life. That being said, we were talking the other week, and he was saying that even being a purple belt can have a bit of pressure to perform at a high level now that he's getting up there in age. Then 2 days ago, our coach promoted him to brown belt, and he is pretty upset. Oh, no. LOL Snap says, Roberto got banned. Raul got banned. Tony Fitz got banned. Oh, I do know Tony Fitz. Everybody got banned. Am I banned? I didn't get banned. I left. That's the difference between me and you guys. I left. You guys got kicked out of there, and I just left. I might be banned too. Who knows? I don't even care no more. Got promoted to brown belt and is very upset about it because he feels like his jiu-jitsu simply isn't at the level, and it was more of a participation trophy. Now he feels like he has a whole new level of pressure on him that he did not want. I forgot about that too. Yeah, you get that brown belt, there's a little bit of more pressure on you to do better, to know more, to coach more. Says, I'm not going to say who it is, but we have a pretty high level professor and high level competitors and hobbyists at our gyms, or at our gym. He feels like he's going to look bad now because people are going to think this guy is really a brown belt. He doesn't know what to do, and I'm not really sure what options he has either. He's got to just get better. He didn't go today and said he doesn't want to go back. He is going to go back, but he's not happy. He has a really close friendship with our professor and is upset with him because my dad thinks it makes them both look bad. Well, he needs to stop comparing himself to them young people. Says, I'm in my 50s and just got my black belt. Can I go toe-to-toe with brown belts and black belts in their 30s? Not really, but I more than hold my own against people my age. I bet a belt is your journey, your personal journey. You just can't compare a 60 or 50-year-old to someone in their 20s and 30s. To me, he sounds like a 60-year-old brown belt. That's pretty badass in my book. Danny Toppa says, low-key, might have to do the same with judo women. Uh-oh. Danny Chopper, he scoping out. That's why he doing judo. I think Marley started judo too. What's going over there with the judo girls? What you guys doing over there? Is something I'm missing out on? Let me know. Someone says, I'm a black belt in my 30s, and there are brown belts in their 20s that wear me out. Yeah. I just got my black belt a couple days ago. I'm 46 and a small female. Can a young blue belt man tap me? Probably. Can I rattle off details on how to finish a back triangle for 30 minutes? Also, yes. Being an upper belt is not just about tapping people. It's also about the knowledge that you've accumulated over the years. Physical differences is not something you can control. He just got to accept the belt, man, and accept it. Tony Fitz is my main training partner. Oh, well. Okay. I'm going to ask him about you. he got to be like, man, this guy crushing me. Says he's mid-60s. His coach will be elevating his development against other people of his demographic, or evaluating his development against other people in his demographic. There's not too many 60-plus people in training, man. You by yourself out there at 60. We ain't got too many 60-year-olds out there doing it. So, just take the belt, man. You ain't got it. I don't want to say anything too bad. Just take the belt, man. Take the belt. And stop comparing yourself to everybody. Tony is also my best friend and my daughter's godfather. Okay, that's good, man. Danny Choppa says, I'm just trying to have some form of takedown offense. All right. So if you guys clicked on the thumbnail, I did have Mo Jassim on there. Mo from ADCC. It says ADCC 2026 tickets are extremely expensive. Balea, are they expensive? It says I was looking for next year's ADCC ticket and it caught me by surprise. So to start, the cheapest one-day tickets in the worst seats will be higher than 50 euros. All right, man, get out of here. People complaining. 50 euros, which is considerably more than a ticket on many top-tier football leagues in Europe. Well, you're getting American prices. They put the American prices on you. If anyone wants to buy a 2-day pass in a mid-range seat, the prices are between 160 and 210 euros. That's not, well, maybe that's a lot. I don't know. And the ones mat side are higher than 500 euros and up to almost 900 euros. I was happy when I saw that ADCC was coming to Europe, and I was thinking about going, but these prices are completely out of reality, and I think the organization will face a wake-up call when they get closer to the date, with so few tickets sold. Uh-oh. If the interest is to grow the sport, no, they want to make money. This is not the way to get a full arena and to attract spectators. I'm not sure if the Europeans really want to pay those prices. They should have stayed in Vegas. Since we are already far from the date, maybe we can open the eyes of the organization and make them lower the prices. They're not going to lower. If they remain this way, I guess we'll return to the days of ADCC on empty stands. Says, how else are they going to pay the winners the exact same they always have? Oh, God. I don't know. Are they still paying show money this time, or what are they paying at ADCC? Who knows? Who knows what they're paying over there? Let me see what the tickets are real quick. I might try to go out there, maybe. He says, how do you know Tony? I've been training for a long time, bro. I know Raul. I know Roberto. I think I know Tony through online or something. Bro, I know people. Now, Balea knows more people than me, but I know some people, bro. I've been around, man. Oh, shoot. That's expensive. $229. Oh, that's in Polish dollars. Man, put it in American dollars. What is the American equivalent? Yeah, change that pricing. I know people, bro. I don't know what the Polish prices are. I don't have login. Can I go back? Let's see. If I go back, will it let me okay, I can't go back. I don't know what the Polish equivalent is. I have no idea. This is where you guys going to be sitting out here in the back. I want to sit next to what's the closest Matt? Black Tony. Yeah, I know, bro. I know Black Tony. I know a couple Tonys from Texas. I got a big Tony Fitz. Yeah, come on, man. I know people, bro. I know some people, bro. I've been in jiu-jitsu for a long time. I know people, bro. How did you come to the dungeon? Well, I don't know. I never got invited to that. Why would I go to the I only been to Texas probably twice though. No, two or three times. I don't know. Let's see. Where are the tickets at? Oh, that's the good seat. Let's see. Right here. Ooh. How much are these? 3,400 PLN. What is that? Let's see. $1,000. Yeah, it was right. $1,000 for that good seat. Okay. He said, "How didn't you come to the dungeon?" I didn't get the invite to the dungeon. It says how I wouldn't really compare ADCC to football leagues in Europe. To be fair, you're talking about an event that goes on all day, even with a 1-day ticket compared to a 2-hour event. You're also talking about an event that is the best the sport has to offer and only happens once every 2 years. So you should compare it to the World Cup or something. Not something, or something like that. Not something that happens in 10 different locations in the country almost every weekend. Honestly, I think around €200 for a mid-range seat all weekend is fine. That's significantly less than what you'd pay for a music festival here in UK. Yeah, I mean, it says Tony won't let you roll with me. He might. Ask him. I might be all right. I think I'll be okay. Cody still said that too. Mushmaster says $1,000 for grappling is nuts. I mean, I actually, if I could afford the seats, I would go for it. I can't really see anyway, so I like to be up close. I want the VIP. Give me the VIP seats. So yeah, it seems. What were the tickets in? Were they? What was the pricing in? When it was in Vegas? Well, yeah. What was the pricing in Vegas? Apparently, somebody's upset. BJJ Fanatics be emailing constantly, man. And I guess they just selling stuff now. Yeah, they just be. Patrick T says, "Is Gordon competing in 2026? I don't know. He don't look like it. But these guys can bounce back in a couple of weeks. They be looking strong again. Alec needs a press pass. No, I ain't want to be pressed. I want to enjoy the show. I just want to enjoy the show and enjoy Poland. I don't want to have to work when I go there. Yeah, BJJ Fanatics they've been I don't know what they're doing over there. Let's see. It says it's the same idea that the time someone is most likely to buy is right after you've sold them something. Seems like it's backwards, but in my experience in sales, it's true. Now, I don't go spamming people with email promotions or randomly show up to solicit new products, but I have had the scenario where a department or organization comes to us for a solution to a problem via our products and systems. We give them the solution that would meet 100% of their stated needs, thereby solving the problem. Perfect. It says wrong. Budget doesn't allow that. People often haggle just to haggle. They think people are always overcharging them. And most times what they actually accomplish is getting a lower price by giving up value or products that actually help them. What are these talking about? It says all this to say people blindly do it because visibility. Whatever lie they tell themselves, it's an inexperienced marketing tactic that will work because numbers go up, not realizing it's really bad success rate and there's better options. So I think because BJJ Fanatics is, they spamming everybody. I like BJJ Fanatics, I'm on there. They kind of spamming everybody, so it does kind of, makes you kind of tired. It says it's a great honor to receive those spam emails. So a lot of people will unsubscribe. It says I hate how many companies are doing this lately. If I like you, I'll accept one per week. Sending one every day or a lot like this is crazy. Makes me not want to do business with you. They've also been spamming Instagram with rash guards that are clearly AI prototypes for print on demand. It Says, what do you expect from them? They filmed $300 instructionals with their phones. Says $50 for the content, $250 for the cover design. It says, bold of you to assume the cover design wasn't done by one of the founder's 9-year-old's nieces or nephews for free. The best way to go about this is to mark and report it as spam. It makes it go directly to your spam folder and affects the email reputation of the seller, which eventually causes their whole email marketing to get messed up. They are sending too many emails though. BJJ Fanatics, if you're watching, stop sending so many emails. It's the same experience. What I found fascinating was all I did was view their website and somehow they know my email address and are spamming me. As an internet marketer myself with my own business, I want to figure out how they did it. They got your ISP or something, and they linked it to your email, something like that. I don't know. I didn't sign up to anything whatsoever, yet they have my email. They are emailing too much, man. They emailing way too much. And, if I see this, man, that's too much. That's one day too. That's one day. One day. What you guys doing? Are you gonna put them in your spam folder? I might have to do that. That's too much. Too much emails. All right, guys, we're at 2 hours. I think we got about 50 more minutes. I got to dip. Let me try to get through these stories real quick. Get you guys updated. We got Muggsy versus Caden. So we already saw this matchup. I do like Muggsy. Now, he's not a good wrestler. He's just not a good wrestler. I admit it. He's not a good wrestler. It says it's going to be streaming exclusively on Fox Nation. It's going to be October 25th. So that's soon. Tomorrow. So this match already happened, and Muggsy got tooled. That Caden kid is good. He's actually, he was the Division 1. I believe he was Division 1. And I don't know if he qualified for NCAAs this year, but I think he did last year. He gonna get tooled, man. I mean, Muggsy ain't got no skill. Muggsy got two moves. He got the lateral drop, and he got an ankle pick that everybody sees a mile away. He got two moves, so no way he's gonna win. Now he is a wrestling content creator, wrestling influencer. Caden says, "We back." Why? Says, "Yes, sir." Let me turn this down. Says, "Save me a pair of those navy blue." Says, stoked you are competing again. I thought it was going to be the business of wrestling for you going forward. I was hoping this was why you were leaving Claw. So you guys know Claw was the Champions League American Wrestling. That's what Caden kind of started, but I guess he left to do Real American Freestyle. I haven't watched any of the shows, but maybe I can catch this one. It's tomorrow. I don't know if I have Fox Nation though. Let's see. Why are they running it back? Caden dominated him last time. He gonna do it again too. He for sure gonna dominate. I mean, it ain't a close match. The first match was folk style. Is this one freestyle? I mean, Muggsy ain't done freestyle. He a folk style wrestler. Says the only answer is viewership. Not saying it would change the outcome, but the match was almost canceled because Muggsy had an injury. Maybe a better match this time around at least. Okay, didn't know that. Says money bags, big dog. Muggsy threw his knee out first time. Viewership. It says viewership my ass. Uh-oh. I'm cursing over here. Caden wrestled his whole life in and out of school all too. And from college also. Muggsy got injured last time. Okay. He kept wrestling though. So we'll see what happens, man. Muggsy not gonna win. Muggsy can't win. We got Mikey over here training with Joseph Chin. He says, by far, one of the most technical people I have ever trained, only behind Moneybird. Sorry, Mikey. I gotta go after you, Mikey. I'm sorry. Mikey a little compromised. I'm sorry, Mikey. I'm trying to be good. Says, he's one of the most technical people I've ever trained with. Really grateful how much he's helping me for my next match in 9 days. That's pretty cool. I do like Mikey. Tylenol sponsored athletes. I do like Mikey. I gotta give Mikey a hard time. I'm sorry. You always gonna have a hard time with me a little bit, Mikey. I'm sorry. But shout out to Joseph Chin. He's over there training for everybody. Marcelo, Mikey, everybody. It says, these are the moments that define our sport. So this is why I love wrestling. Woo! You know, well, she got up there on that podium though. Don't worry, LOL Snap said he'll take care of you. Kenta says how to compete like a beast.
Fear of injury.
The way people describe you is they're like, Kenta's a dog, Kenta's a beast. Was that something that you have always had when you competed?
I think these things come with experience, like preparing for competition. Only recently I feel like I can put more than 100% of myself in the show. So in training, I put a lot of limits on how my body can move because I'm more worried about not injuring myself and being safe. In the match, I try to remove all the limitations, the governors that limit my body. So I'm not worried about injuries. I can fully try to maneuver my body without limit. I don't have any fear of injury.
The way people describe you is they're like, Kenta's a dog.
That's how young people talk. I got no fear of injury. Now you put me out there, put Mushmaster out there. We're like, well, I better tap out or get out of this real quick before I get really messed up. Kenta is quickly becoming one of my favorite grapplers. He makes me want to train harder and compete harder. The thing with Kenta is that he does too many absolutes. So what you're gonna find out is, you can't keep doing that absolute after a certain age. And you smaller, you can't keep doing that absolute. Something's gonna happen to you. Something's gonna happen to you. You're gonna get crushed. Something gonna get cracked. You can't do that absolute no more if you don't have the size. Kenta is really coming into his own. I'm excited to see his future matches. Yeah, he's been competing a lot, so he's in a good place. Cyborg over here training with the girls. Say no to Cyborg. That's me rolling with LOL Snap. Well, she has a nice say Nagi though. Now she's not setting it up. Mushmaster will break her technique down. She ain't setting it up. Posture's off, but yeah, it's not terrible. It says I don't want to talk about this. It says it won't hurt. This won't hurt my baby. She's taking Tylenol with the water. And 25 years later, she got a tech genius down there, finance genius. We talked about that yesterday. I don't want to get into that about the Tylenol. IBJF got some news. What's going on? They ain't giving no more money though. Yo, they never say they're gonna give more money. IBJF, they crazy.
Welcome back to IBJJF News, your source for the latest from the International Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Federation. This past weekend featured 5 events across 3 different continents, with the Portland Open, the Boston Open, the Kuala Lumpur Open, as well as the Sul-Americano No-Gi and the Brasileiro Semkimono Kids. The biggest events of the weekend were the Sul-Americano No-Gi and the Brasileiro Semkimono Kids, drawing a total of nearly 2,800 competitors. At the Sul-Americano No-Gi, GF team athletes Vitoria Vieira and Pedro Alex both won 5 matches to take home double gold. At the inaugural Brasileiro Semkimono Kids, Daniel 220 put on another spectacular performance, winning 2 matches to place first in his category. Another event that took place for the first time this past weekend was the Kuala Lumpur Open, which had divisions for adults, masters, and kids. The event highlighted the rapid growth of jiu-jitsu in Southeast Asia, with athletes of all ages coming together to showcase their skills. As the community continues to expand, tournaments like the Kuala Lumpur Open demonstrate how the level of competition and participation in the region is rising year after year. Coming up, we have the 2025 Pan No Gi making its long-awaited return to New York for the first time since 2019, and the countdown is officially on. Just weeks later, on Sunday, November 23rd, the IBJJF crown presented by Flow Grappling will take center stage, bringing together the best athletes in the world for one of the most prestigious and exciting invitational events in Jiu-Jitsu. Stay tuned to IBJJF News.
Just take that money from the crown and put it to pans, put it to euros. Come on, man. Pay people. Pay people. Man, please pay people, IBJJF. Man, we don't have the money, man. You know that's what they're going to say. We don't have the money, man. I want to see the financials. Because you know they're a private company. They don't have to tell you the finances. It says wrestlers are a different breed. That is true. They are different. Yeah. LL Snap. That's LL Snapped out there. Knee be jacked up. Face jacked up. Nose jacked up. Bleeding from the head. God, dog. Yeah, they are a different breed. Got the Rotulos. Let me refresh that.
Cater Tolo here. Just touched base on the Wahoo yesterday. Tomorrow we're teaching the first seminar, Sunset Beach Jiu-Jitsu, 6 p.m. Hope to see you guys there. Aloha guys, Cater Tolo here. Just touched base on the Wahoo yesterday. Tomorrow we're teaching the first seminar, Sunset Beach Jiu-Jitsu, 6 p.m. Hope to see you guys there. Aloha guys, Cater Tolo here. Just touched base on the Wahoo.
Maybe Dana. You know, he'll at least break off a little bit. Now, IBJF is a Brazilian company. They ain't breaking off nothing. It took them, how many years did it take the IBJF to pay somebody? 20 years? It took them 20 years to start paying people. And they still ain't paying enough. We got about 40 more minutes, everybody. 3 hours, bro. 3 hours ain't that easy. Amit says, touching my belly between sets so people know I'm pregnant and that I didn't randomly get fat or lazy.
Today I don't.
I think they can tell you're pregnant, Amit. They know you're pregnant. They can see it. She wrote in Portuguese? I guess she had a translation. What did she say over there? Oh, okay. She put in Portuguese too. You know, if Amit was my daughter, I would have kept her away from them Brazilians. That's why I would have kept her away from them Brazilians. Yeah, I would have kept her away from the Brazilians. I always warn everybody to stay away from the Brazilians. Stay away from the Cubans too. Stay away from the Cubans. Stay away from the Brazilians. If she was my daughter, my sister, stay away from them Brazilians. But she gonna learn. She gonna learn. She gonna learn. She gonna learn. I do like that machine though. I wish I had that machine, access to that kind of machine. I guess she can't wear the belt. Los Hermanos, Rotulo, Puerto Rico, Dominican, Puerto Rican, Puerto Rica, Morena, Puerto Rica, Morena. Rotulos could be whatever they want to be. And why they living in Costa Rica? They got Costa Rican in there too? What they got in there? You know they got some Dominican in there too. Come on. You know they got some Dominican. They look just like my boy that's Dominican. They look just like Xavier. They look just like my homeboy Xavier. Says, so you want to try judo in Japan?
You want to try judo in Japan? Here's what they don't tell you before you walk in. I thought it would just be easy to walk in and join. What I didn't know was that they have strict rules for outsiders. So the dojo does require you to have belts ranging from red to black, and I try to lie my ass off saying that I have a yellow belt. Yeah, and that's funny because I never even did judo a day in my life. But either way, I didn't meet the requirements. The second option was to sign up for a membership. It was $300 for a month, and I was like, God damn, I'm not even gonna stay for that long, so I had to pass up. Even though I didn't get to try judo, I watched for hours, and it was still incredible. It's a very underrated thing to do in Japan, so I definitely think y'all should try it out. Oh, you want to try judo in Japan? Here's what they don't tell you before you walk in. I thought it would just be easy to walk in and join. What I didn't know was that they have strict rules for outsiders. So the dojo does require you to have belts ranging from red to black, and I try to lie my ass off saying that I have a yellow belt. Yeah, and that's funny because I never even did judo a day in my life. But either way, I didn't meet the requirements. The second option was to sign up for a membership. It was $300 for a month, and I was like, God damn, I'm not even gonna stay for that long, so I had to pass up. Even though I didn't get to try judo, I watched for hours, and it was still incredible. It's a very underrated thing to do in Japan, so I definitely think y'all should try it out. Oh, you want to try judo in Japan? Here's what they don't tell you before you walk.
That's crazy. I think his big mistake. Listen, man, you gotta know people in this sport, especially when you go to different countries. You gotta know people. You need to have someone introduce you to the coaches or to the instructors. Don't just go in there all willy nilly, bro. Get somebody to introduce you. That's what I did. I had people introduce me in jiu-jitsu class. I had someone introduce me, even though I was already black belt when I went to Japan. I had someone go with me and introduce me to the instructors. And then when I went to wrestling, I had someone introduce me. So it's kind of tough, man. If you're going in there, you got no background. They don't know who you are. They try to charge you $300. They doing that so you can't go. They charge you $300 so you don't jump in their class. They don't know who you are. So especially somewhere like Japan, you need to have some people as an intermediary. You got to have some people need to know who you are. You can't just be a random dude, because he was already lying. He said he was a yellow belt. He didn't know nothing. That probably saved him, because he probably would have got hurt. He would have got slammed on his head and paralyzed. Says you need to plan this in advance. Very few martial arts places in Japan do walk-ins for anything other than viewing. He could have dropped in at the Kodokan. That's true. He should have gone to Kodokan. Oh, I want to go to Kodokan. I might need to do that next time. Yeah, I don't know if that was real. Nothing's working right now. We did talk about Muggsy. Did I put that up there? Muggsy is 28. Oh, I didn't know he was 28. All right. Mushmatch says he pulled up to some other judo place, I think. Even Kodokan, get somebody to go with you. Find somebody to go with you or something. Things are different in Japan, man. They don't know who you are. Who are you? You need to have somebody with you, man. Even if you just met them online. Hey, man, can you go with me to Kodokan? Especially if you don't speak the language. How are you going to go in there? You don't speak the language. You going to assume they just speak English over there in Japan? Good luck, everybody. Good luck. Now, if you go to a jiu-jitsu school, they might speak English. But if you go to Japan, you expecting people to speak English, good luck. It says bucket list is definitely the Kodokan. Yeah, I guess Kodokan, you can go up there. It says no disrespect, but is this match even going to be competitive? Nope. Caden is actively in a college room and competing against other college guys, while Muggsy posts some clips lat dropping kids and sells online courses. Again, no hate. I can't see this even being remotely competitive. It won't be. Mushmatcher says he could have got hurt seriously. Yeah, it probably saved him. He would have got tossed on his head. They did a mock match last year, and it wasn't even close. Caden took him down 3-ish times, and Muggsy got hurt during it. Mushmatcher says you need people to vouch for you so you can get in and not get hurt. And also, they don't want you hurting people. It's not like here in America where we let crazy people just roll. We let crazy people. We shouldn't be letting crazy people roll anyway. And that guy was like lying. He's like, yeah, I got a yellow belt. He never did judo before. It says agree, but the point to Raf is ratings. The success of UFC and pro boxing has always been driven by promotions more than matchups. What we really need is crazy matchups that will suck in people who never wrestled. Caden versus Gronkowski, I don't know who that is, or something ridiculous like that is what Raph really needs to get on more people's radar. Caden versus Giorgio Paulas, that might be good. You know, that the influencer guy. Mushmaster says no more influencer fights. Well, jiu-jitsu got influencer fights. Wrestling got influencer fights. Now, what you need to do is put the influencer against, well, you know, put them against real people that won't take a dive. You know, don't do it like boxing. Says, I don't know. Says, if I'd want it to become popular through gimmick matches. Says, I don't know if I want it to become popular through gimmick matches, but it would be cool to get other big MMA fighters or maybe even the NFL guys to compete in this during their offseason. They can't do that. Probably they'll get injured. They go out there and get injured. MMA fighters don't have no offseason. Probably a good amount of NFL dudes that wrestled at some point, and I know that Ocho claims to have gone undefeated, and Micah Parsons was also pretty high level, and you've seen before focusing on football. They're not going to go to wrestling, man. It says, this is for kids, a major part of the wrestling fan base. And Muggsy, he got a ton of kids as fans. Danny Chopper says, brother, after my first judo comp, I don't even feel like I deserve my yellow belt. Go ahead and take it off then. Take it off. He says, hey, Muggsy doesn't have the pedigree, but he makes it look cool and people watch and also mess. And he sends it. Yeah, he does send it. He's just not good. Says Caden is still NCAA eligible when they tried to do it last year, so it didn't happen. No, they did have a match. Says RAF CEO said they're working something out with Kennedy Blade so she can debut by the end of the year. But if that falls through, I wonder if the current college athletes competing in RAF is a dead concept. Said they wrestled just in the room and it was on YouTube. Caden beat him very badly. It says, from what I recall, Muggsy had trouble even getting to the leg. Muggsy's not a good wrestler. I not like Muggsy. It says, better matchup would have been Caden versus Giorgio or Muggsy versus Giorgio. Both have social media followings, but in my opinion, Giorgio will beat him as well. Caden will smoke Muggsy again, yeah. Danny Chopper says, glad my instructor didn't promote me. Says, Muggsy is like the Bullshido of wrestling. He posts flashy stuff that gets views from young people and sells classes, but doesn't actually post anything of substance to actual wrestling. Caden is, he's the D2. I thought he was D1. He's actually D2 wrestler that once stayed in high school. He posts actual wrestling content, often visiting D1 rooms and training with guys there. Muggsy should wrestle some top BJJ guys and wrestling rule sets. He's still going to lose. I don't care what Muggsy does, he's going to lose. He can't beat jiu-jitsu people. He can't beat jiu-jitsu kids. Says, I like Muggsy's videos, but he needs a coach and to work on progressing to have a chance. He is a great athlete, but it's clear he is still pretty raw. He just doesn't have techniques. I'm skipping that. Pat Downey's also going to be out there too, versus Jake Varner. I believe Jake Varner used to fight. So that's definitely going to be a better matchup. He says, how was the judo tournament? Well, he just said he wanted to give up his belt. That lets you know everything. So again, that's going to be October 25th. I believe that's tomorrow, so I might watch that. What time is it? It's going to be at Penetration State College. So, you guys know Pat Downey, he been attacking Penetration State. So it says, I am expecting Varner to absolutely punk Downey. I may be in the minority, but I love Raph signing these guys who were really good 10 years ago. I'm hoping Jordan Oliver gets a shot. Yeah, Jordan Oliver is good too. Someone said, dear God, PD3 might actually die this time. Varner buy whatever he wants. He'll walk back into the halls without coming out for a second period, if he even makes it that far. We'll probably blame girls wrestling for him quitting. Says, this feels like a very Raph matchup. Olympic medalist from over a decade ago versus a guy everyone hates who hasn't been relevant in 5 years. Pat Downey just wrestled. He had a match at CJI. Mushmaster says Varner won the Olympics. Oh, he did? Oh, I didn't know that. He won the Olympics? What weight class? 86? What year was that? Danny Tapa says, LOL, I did go 2-2, almost got DQ'd twice, but it was real fun. What were you doing? Grabbing the pant? Grabbing the legs or something? It says, Downey is an animal. Met him in real life. You will change my mind. Says the last time he wrestled was 2021. A guy who everyone hates. Downey is still an All-American and international medalist who has beat some top-ranked guys. Danny Tapa says, almost grabbed the leg twice, but immediately let go if you're wondering about DQ possibilities. Okay, that's good. Says Downey hasn't been relevant in wrestling. He's been plenty active around combat sports as a whole and maintained his unique style of showing great potential and squandering opportunities in asinine ways. I completely agree. This feels like the kind of matchup an organization like RAF was made for. I didn't know that about Jamie Varner. I might need to, or Jake Varner. Is there a Jamie Varner too? Let's look that up real fast. We gotta see what's going on. We ain't got that much time, but I'll try. Try to see some matches over here. My man was grabbing the leg. You're supposed to sweep the leg, Danny Tapa, not grab the leg. Come on, man. You know the rules. We're gonna watch your video soon. I think she's got a girlfriend, but you know we can still support her. Can we watch that? I don't know if we can watch that. I don't know if we can watch the Olympics on here. They will hit me with a copyright strike. Kyle Snyder. Let's watch this match.
The dandy. Yeah, not going to be any working into it. We're starting with a huge one in size, figuratively and literally. Yeah. Oh, we're on the same page. Kyle Snyder, your 2015 U.S. Open champion. Jake Varney, your 2012 Olympic gold medalist, squaring off. Yeah, going to be a great matchup. Last time it was a 2-0 win for Snyder, completely shutting down Varner's offense. And that's going to be the challenge for Varner, opening up the very positionally disciplined Kyle Snyder. Great hand fighter.
This might not be the best match to watch.
Tough guy to open up. We'll see what adjustments Varner makes after
you couldn't do arm bars
on him one time.
What kind of judo were you doing?
There you have, of course, Snyder in the red, Jake Varner in the blue. Varner trying for an overcollar. He goes for the patented ankle pick. Can't get it, slaps the side.
I know.
Snyder, but can't get any closer.
Drone strike.
And when Varner strings moves together, like
everything goes black.
What
happened to the live stream?
That's going to be.
I know. I learned my lesson. I know. I don't mess with UWW. I don't mess with
finish. It normally takes.
I don't mess with Olympics. I've been hit by everything.
And there you see
I don't mess with
collar tie over
Polaris
for Varner in the first
UFC.
Call will go against Kyle Snyder. You saw Varner really kind of hold his ground more so in the center of the mat, and they decide to hit Snyder
Mushmaster's like, you gonna get
just about
drone strike.
Down here in the first
drone strike is gonna hit me.
Number one, of course. 2 out of 3 to win the spot on the world team. You got to win 2 matches. So each weight we're going to see at least 2, and in the instances we get lucky enough, we'll see a third. Placed third in the 2011 World Championship. Varner with a noticeable size difference. You see Snyder looking for that ankle pick, a leg attack he's really improved on in the last year. So there's a shot from space. Front headlock now for Snyder. Looking to go behind from here. Actually, more of a chest wrap than a front headlock. And he does. He gets all the way behind.
Oh, God.
Varner just kind of shrugs him off as to say.
All right, Pat Downey might be in some trouble now. I didn't know about Jake Varner like that.
He got to a rear standing there, but great job by Varner, able to square up. And
I didn't know about Jake Varner like that.
But if I'm Jake Varner, that's in the back of my mind. Dang, if I take a shot here.
You know, in 2012, the only person I knew about in 2012 was Jordan Burroughs.
Snyder could go on the shot clock, 30 seconds here to get a point on the board. So it's up to Kyle, 30 seconds, or he'll give the first point up to Jake Varner. He controls an inside tie in the left. Nice snap. Brought Varner to his knees. Jake recovers quickly, and a beautiful job. Head on the outside shot. Lifts the champ up. And great hit by Jake Varner. Able to defend and breaks the lock. They say no points. Varner now in a front head position. 8 seconds to go on the shot clock.
Grounded. No, he's not grounded.
And does Jake try to move him forward? And probably not. You want to earn the caution and the point, not just the push out. Okay, and there you see the 30 seconds up. 1 point to Jake Varner with the caution against Kyle Snyder.
That was
great job by Snyder getting in deep, but even better job by Varner getting that foot on the mat. Snyder likes to finish. When he gets that high crotch, likes to finish single leg. Wasn't able to get to it there. So Varner wins the first little battle there.
And part of me thinks that Kyle Snyder had potential and opportunity to take him out of bounds for a push out.
Step out, yeah, absolutely.
Wanted to get a takedown and score 2 instead of the 1. And I wonder if he could go back, if he would
nice
do
drag.
something differently. And here we go. Body lock, and it's going to be a step out. 1 point in favor of Kyle Snyder. So he earns the first offensive point. We're pushing Jake Varner out of bounds. And it'll be 1-1 on the scoreboard.
I don't know if they had
Snyder,
criteria
though, of
back
course,
then.
does have that caution against him.
I don't know if they had criteria back then, everybody.
Short time now as we wind down here in the first period.
And back to your point on the shot clock, if that was truly Snyder's intention, was being ambitious, wanting that takedown, that may be a tactical error against someone like Varner, especially when you're
skip through.
Runner up. Trying to follow that with the U.S. Open and World Team Trials titles. That would be an impressive feat. When's the last time a freshman in college won the World Team Trials?
I couldn't tell you, buddy.
1906.
1906.
And Snyder, got to the leg. Varner gave up nothing, though.
Varner looking super crisp defensively, getting those feet moving as soon as Snyder's attack. But credit, now looking throw by there.
And Snyder again pushes him more so towards the edge, although still in the zone. And now we see him go again to the edge, and it's going to be potentially 2. They are 2 for Varner. Will it be confirmed? And yes, they indicate 3 on the scoreboard total.
They challenge.
Nah, I think it was 2.
And this could prove to be an erroneous challenge.
It'll be 4.
Here's what they're going to continue to get. They allow that fact. More.
Wow.
4, yeah.
One more for the failed challenge.
So it'll be 4-1. Kyle Snyder with the lead, and this is big.
And that's the riskier run when you challenge. Varner, in a way, was going to need a takedown regardless. And now you see him forced to shoot. He takes a double leg from space. They come up over-under position. 2:12 on the clock.
Kyle Snyder, hasn't surrendered a point other than the shot clock violation, and, is sitting pretty, in our eyes anyways, with 2 minutes to go. He comes back with double unders, pushing Varner back. Kyle Snyder's got some horsepower.
That is absolutely noticeable here. And Varner going to try to flip the script, and the whole foot has to go out.
There you go.
And Snyder, once again in the zone, needs to square up there. White paddle, but he's still on the edge there. Got to be careful against someone as powerful as Varner. But to your point, Bader,
they both got miles on them. Pat Downey and
strong, especially with those upper body ties, moving around someone as big and strong as Jake Varner. That's a testament to both his positioning and his power.
Dude is a house.
So finger fight left there. Inside control for Snyder. Will he continue?
Pat Downey's been competing a little bit more frequently, though. Well, definitely compared to Varner, I think.
Varner sometimes sets up his duck under.
And we're down to 70 seconds to go here in this bout. Kyle Snyder looking to get one step closer to making the senior world team. Of course, 2013 junior world champ, 2014 junior world bronze medalist. And trying to step it up this year.
Looking the part here, putting 4 points on the board against Jake Varner is no joke. And speaks to his continued progression. I mean, just from second to NCAAs to U.S. Open champion, now scoring more points on Varner than he did at the Open. And not to mention, at Beat the Streets, he beat Cortina, a world bronze medalist just last year. So
Cuba, correct. So now look at that, 35 to go. Kyle Snyder. Whew. Folks, watch out. He is just completely shut Jake Varner down at this point. Varner's offense debunked. No, nothing for Kyle Snyder at this point.
You give Kyle Snyder a 3-point lead, and his ability to hand fight, block off, control the ties. There's not many people in the world.
Snyder don't even move like that no more.
Yeah, you never know.
And look at that, 10 seconds to go. Let's see if Varner puts a last-second flurry together. He pulls on the head.
They got them peptides now, man.
That's going to do it.
Not going to get a chance. Kyle Snyder wins the second.
They got them peptides to get these guys fixed up. Bro, my Instagram is not working. Let me knock these stories out real fast, see if there's anything of interest. I might check out that raft tomorrow, man. I didn't know about that. Got Murasaki over here. He looking strong. Those are the kind of guys I gotta fight. You'd be like, what the heck is he doing? He over here lifting all the weights, jumping with the weights. You ain't gonna see me jumping with no weight. He doing a pull up with all the weight. So when you guys see me out there struggling, I'm like, man, I gotta fight these guys. I'm fighting these specimens over here. These enhanced people over here. I'm going out there with whatever testosterone I got. That's all I got. Whatever I was born with, that's all I got. I ain't got no help. I'm over here drinking tea. I drink all my tea. That's all I got. I don't got nothing helping me. Yeah. So I think he had some good stuff. Is homeboy over here? I guess he's gone. We can watch Max Hansen because Josiah's not here right now.
Direito fora. O braço direito, isso. Não aceita. Cuidado agora na hora de subir, hein? Deita, 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 deita.
My homeboy Jeff gonna be out there, so hopefully we get a rematch. Well, he actually beat Max Hansen before, and I believe Jeff might have beaten Grippo before too. So hopefully my homeboy can go out there and get some work done. That's next week. Mushmaster, you going out there? Oh, you in judo mode. Danny Chopper says Josiah moved on. Yeah. Yep, we gone. No more talk of that guy no more. No, there's Josiah. He says Max Hansen won't win. Danny Chopper, you see what you just did? You summoned Josiah. I thought Josiah was quiet. I was like, he's gone. We could watch Max Hansen now. We got Bo Nickel versus Hidalgo. For the love of God, Hidalgo, please don't strike. Well, actually, you could probably outstrike Bo Nickel. But guys, use some grappling, please. Yeah, Danny Chopper, you see what you did? You see what you did, Danny Chopper? See, man, see what you did, Danny Chopper. I'm pulling for Hidalgo. Hopefully, he can get through this. We got Miss Baron Bozo. She says, why jiu-jitsu is not a spectator sport?
This is why jiu-jitsu is not a spectator sport, and why it might not need to be. You ever watch sports and notice how obvious it is when someone scores? In basketball, for example, the ball goes into a hoop, the crowd goes wild, and then the action resets, and we do the same thing over again. In wrestling and judo, a whole human goes up into the air and down into the ground. Easy to understand. In boxing, someone gets punched in the face. No confusion there. In curling, a rock slides into a circle. Even your grandma gets it. In jiu-jitsu, however, scoring looks like two people making adjustments. When someone passes, someone passed from quarter mount to mount by freeing their foot. Or in a sweep, someone scissored to their legs, and now instead of being on bottom, they're on top but in the same position. Or when someone takes the back, they're holding the person the same way, but their feet are a little bit different. The core of jiu-jitsu and most jiu-jitsu matches is the progression of control.
Purpose, bro.
It's about taking away space and movement until you're able to find a submission and the other person is forced to tap. So it might not be the best spectator sport. But if you're on the mat and someone is making micro adjustments on your feet, it still might be game over. This is why jiu-jitsu is not a spectator sport and why it might not need to be. You ever watch sports and notice how obvious it is when someone scores? In basketball, for example, the ball goes into a hoop, the crowd goes wild, and then the action resets, and we do the same thing over again.
Christian, are you watching the live stream? Where are you at, Christian? CP? Yeah, she's right. Nobody can tell what we're scoring with. Danny Chopper, you did that on purpose, man. I'm seeing it now, Josiah. Everybody trying to make Josiah relapse. And I'm telling you, don't do that, guys. Don't do that. Nogi Euros. I was about to say Nogi Pans. Nogi Euros. Got some people out there. All right, good luck to everybody. I need to go out there. I did it one time. I did not do well. Because I did Rome Open, which is the day before. And I did middleweight. So I think I won Rome Open. But I forgot about the Nogi. I was like, I started eating some acai. Yeah, you missed the stream, yeah. I started eating some acai, and then I was like, oh, I got to do Nogi tomorrow. Oh, wait, no-gi, I got to be lighter. So I was cooked. Josiah says, I'm watching no-gi pants next week. Max losing to he who shall not be named. Thanks, Danny Chopper. Thank you, Danny Chopper. Thank you. Danny Chopper, you need to be putting time out for that, Danny Chopper. I got to put you in time out or something, man. You knew better to leave that alone. You knew better to leave that alone. Hey, Sarah, what's going on? You know, we support the lady wrestlers over here. We do support ladies wrestling too, though. Gonna play that music, but hey, Sarah, how you doing? What's up? What's new? What's going on? He says, Danny Chopper, are you from Alliance, Tallahassee? Nah, he's not from Alliance. He in New York or New Jersey, one of those places. Same thing. Danny Chopper says, we definitely have fun in here. Hopefully in the coming months, I'll be able to drop in a bit more and cause another Josiah. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm going to put the hammer on you. I'm going to take the hammer that's for Josiah. I'm going to put it on you. Anyway, Sarah, good to see you. Good to see you. Doing good. Got that gold medal. She good. I need me a gold medal girlfriend. Could be. I'll take judo. I'll take wrestling. She did have a birthday. Happy birthday. They both had a birthday. I think Helen had a birthday the other day. Now Sarah had a birthday. He says, no, I'm just an average boy from Pennsylvania. Oh, that's true. Pennsylvania. Good old Pennsylvania. I didn't go this year, and I got in trouble because I didn't go.
You're like, I'm funny. It's like, meow. This girl did to me. Preparing her for all of Europe. Helen's living lawless land here. Wait. This is the secret. This is how we get down. Fucking kid. Yo, character. Wow. Let's get this one. This is the most I've ever. And then I take it back. Catch it, damn it! She done it.
That was sweet. You know, we support women wrestlers over here. He says, I didn't know if you were the same Danny. There's a different Danny. I haven't talked to him in a long time. We covered all our stories. We talked about Pat Downey. Let's watch a little bit. We got 8 more minutes. I don't know. Actually, let me watch this real fast too.
What was Cain Velasquez like coming up as to become the champ?
The best. I've never seen anything like it. I still today have not seen anything like it.
Just like the work ethic, or just the training?
The training, the skill set, the ability. He really could do it all. If he didn't have all those injuries, he would be by far the greatest heavyweight of all time. No one would have beaten him.
When did that start, though?
The injuries?
Yeah.
Cormier not even talking into his microphone.
Nothing. He had so little that when he would get mixed up with people, no matter what they told him to do, he would do. So if the strength coach told him to leg press 800 pounds, he did. He'd leg press 800 pounds. He just did everything, bro. He was a monster, and he just worked and he worked and he worked and he worked himself into like injury after injury after injury.
What was Cain Velasquez like coming up as?
We do have this girl. I think she trains at in Alabama BMAC school, Kaya. I almost got her confused with the other sister that trains at B Team, but we also support our jiu-jitsu girls. So let's watch a little bit of her video. Hopefully she doesn't hit me with the copyright strike.
I've been away from the sport for
Pretty much the whole year. The last time I competed for real was for Medusa Combat Jiu-Jitsu, and it went about as bad as it could have went. Terrible weight cut, terrible performance, terrible shitty preparation.
How much did she weigh? Wait a second. Sorry.
My part.
Let me see. Let me go back. You know, we gotta we gotta see what's going on. How much was she weighing in at?
As it could have went. Terrible weight cut, terrible performance.
116. Okay, I thought I said 160. Not to shame her or anything. I just want to see. I want to see how. I just want to know. I'm just curious.
Terrible shitty preparation on my part. And honestly, it was just like the start of a bunch of terrible shit. Stuff happened with my dad in December, January. And then I just kind of like, honestly, just fell into a depression. I wasn't feeling training. I wasn't feeling much of anything, just trying to like make sense of shit. And we had decided like a year and a half ago that we were gonna try to make a move somewhere.
She got some beautiful eyes. Respectfully, can we be respectful? She got some beautiful eyes. I'm not being creepy. Hopefully I'm not. I'm trying not to be. This is a family show. I gotta remind myself this is a family show. Where's LOL Snap? You know LOL Snap. You be saying some crazy stuff.
With a bit more opportunity, and we found it. So we made the move to Florida in July.
Oh wow, she moved.
And the plan was to just get back on track, find a good team to train with.
In Florida?
Obviously, look at the 10 planets in the area, and then just, get back on track and prep for trials. And last week was like week 1 of trials prep. And everything was going well until it wasn't. My ankles just always, they've hurt pretty much all year. And I've had issues with my ankles in the past. I think at like blue belt, I fractured my ankle in the exact same fashion. It started off as like tendonitis, and then I continued to train and do my thing and try to like prehab it. But in my second competition ever, I went for a shot. Oof. And then fractured after that. Finished the competition, went and got it checked out, result, fractured. But now the same thing is kind of happening with the right one.
Oh, wow.
It started off as just like inflammation, and I'm thinking, all right, if I just baby it, rehab it, like take my time, not do too much, not run as much, it'll be fine. And I mean, I'm walking on it now, but I went out and got an x-ray, talked to my like primary care physician, got an x-ray, and turns out it's also fractured. So that kind of sets me back again. It pretty much puts me out for East Coast trials. It's just not happening. There's no way for it to happen, especially with my like style, my type of game. There's no way for me to wrestle on.
I think a lot of these girls, you gotta make sure you're getting your calcium, your Cuban calcium. We saw the girl with the arm break. We saw her, her stuff is breaking. So everybody out there, take your calcium, please. Take your Cuban calcium. Now, if you're gonna ask me what Cuban calcium is, then you don't know.
A somewhat stable ankle. So, yeah, I guess we just back at square one, to be honest. I got up this morning and went and got an MRI, and the results show that it's not that bad. I won't need surgery. I really just need to do PT. That being said, I haven't talked to the ortho yet. I have to do that on Wednesday, so.
She got a lot going on. I can't fix her problems. I can't fix. I'll support her from afar, though. I can't help with that. None of that. Take your Cuban calcium. That's all I can say. We didn't talk about this, but Raja Jackson got arrested. I meant to talk about it, but I can't talk about everything. He did get arrested. So I mean, we saw the video. We did this live stream. We're not going back over all the stuff. Says policy-wise, total disaster, but he zipped that pitch. I don't know where did they say? took long enough. Why did it take so long? John Jones should be next, and he should be put in prison where he's alone, ideally in a white room where he belongs. Yeah, John Jones is always going to be in trouble. So it says, I know that the American justice system is slow, but Jesus, how much more evidence did they need? Josiah says, Raja got arrested. Is he out yet? He is not wealthy. Yeah, he is. His father retained him a lawyer pretty much immediately. Nothing wrong with that, and I assume the lawyer wasn't a discount bin person. Probably better than most public defenders, yeah. Well, Rampage said he put some money away for his son to get a lawyer, and the other kids got, they got college fund. Says $50K bond seems way too low for that. Bond isn't meant to be a punishment. It's a sunset. It is set aside to help motivate you to show up to court as requested. So it's $5K, no refund. Says if you pay 100%, you get it all back. His dad could drop that in a second. They don't care where the money comes from. It says bond is insurance that he will show up to his court date. Much Matcher says free Raja. It's a terrible situation. Now he messed up filming everything and having it live streamed. So if I ever get in some trouble and I'm on the live stream, you're gonna see that live stream go off before I get in that trouble if I see it coming. Surprised he wasn't already arrested. He needs to get his head on straight. Nearly killing somebody because he felt disrespected is some unhinged stuff. Well, he is Rampage Jackson Jr. I'm not trying to excuse his behavior. He's a grown adult. Did they have that video? Let's see. Flow Grappling didn't have nothing up. Oh, there it is right there. TMZ, don't hit me with a copyright, please. They might. They got him, bro. Well, at least he's he's not fighting nobody. He's what's that called when you go with their request to do what they tell you? Yeah, they got him, bro. Yeah, he's just walking out. I mean, not much you can do. But you know what? At least his dad's rich. He ain't like regular people. Regular people, you be in trouble. If you a regular dude, you be in trouble. You can't afford the bond or the bail. You ain't have no resources, no lawyers. He good. He rich. He rich. He good.
Raja Jackson, the son of UFC champion Quentin Rampage Jackson, was arrested on a felony charge following his brutal attack of a pro wrestler. Jackson went rogue in a fight last month, punching wrestler Stuart Smith until he was unconscious. Smith spent several days in the ICU. A facial fracture, trauma to his upper and lower jaws were among his injuries. That fight was live streamed and went viral on social media. The elder Jackson condemning his son's actions.
Yeah, that's bad, man. I can't see one more video. He says, do you think Rampage would be streaming if he was rich? Well, maybe. He's crazy. Them streamers make some good money, man. Father of the Year award, yeah. How much does Rampage make streaming? I think he does make some money. I think he does make a lot of money.
His name.
Let's see. Actually, Rampage has the personality. I don't know. I'm just typing in random stuff. Well, a lot of people stream nowadays. A lot of those influencers and famous people are streaming nowadays. Like, look at T-Pain. I think T-Pain said it really well. We're not gonna watch. Hey, I'm streaming. I'm streaming too.
I'm making more money off of video games than I've made in the last 4 years. No, just playing them.
Wait, you're making money playing video games?
Playing video games.
So that's like playing them on Twitch?
Yeah.
So from your Twitch stream, you're getting more revenue than from music?
Yeah. I'm making more money off of video games than I've made in the last.
And you know, someone like Rampage, he is exciting, but you know, he is exciting, but I think, you know, he does have a good personality for the live stream. You know, very ADHD, very impulsive. That's what Gen Z wants to see.
People are still shocked when I tell them Napster is probably the best place for artists to make money. Well, T-Pain is letting people know how much it takes for an artist to make just $1 based on the platform that you're using in streaming your music. Take a look. People are still shocked when I tell them Napster is probably the best place for artists to make money.
Like when you making 50, 60 grand an hour playing video games and your draws, it's kind of hard to get me to go out the country for, you know what I'm saying?
Hold on. Pause.
You got it.
You said 50, 60 grand an
This
hour.
And I'm on the low tier. I'm on the low tier. This dude's making millions a month. I'm making less than T Grizzly.
Oh shit.
I know I'm making less than T Grizzly. Well, I mean, when we talk about hourly, I know I'm doing less than T Grizzly. But you talk about like when I
Just
get
from
deals,
fucking playing
when I get deals like 7-Eleven, they gave me 250 grand to play any game I wanted for 2 hours, but just in certain intervals, just say, "Hey guys, 7-Eleven has pizza now. Don't you want a pizza from 7-Eleven?
God,
cool,
dog.
let's get back to the game.
7-Eleven got
for
pizza.
2 hours. Easy money. You think about the pack clothes, go get on a stage for an hour and a half, sweat it out in a state that I don't know what the fuck is going on before I stay in that room and just say 7-Eleven has pizza, and then go back to the game. You think you're gonna get me to leave my house?
I mean, you guys gonna know when I sell out. Have you guys tried Domino's pizza? Pan pizza with the side of blah blah blah. Yo, you guys, I'm gonna let you guys know when I sell out. You guys gonna know, why does Alec keep talking about pizza and soda and chips? You guys gonna know I'm selling out. Mushmaster be selling out with me too. We gotta get him in the Olympics. Have you guys tried this medicated foot spray? It's the best it's the best on the market right now. So be ready when I sell out, everybody. I won't sell out to Moneybird, but I'll sell out to these other corporations. It's gonna happen one day, right? What am I gonna do? We're gonna pay you $1 million, Alec. Can you promote this? Okay. Okay. Do you want to know what the product is? No, I don't care what the product is. Let me read this real fast, and I'll go. Gotta go in a little bit. It says Rampage Jackson income comes from various sources. $15 million from the UFC alone, and a significant payout for his fight with Chuck Liddell, as well as acting roles in other ventures. His net worth is estimated between $4 million and $8 million. It said he made $7 million from the Chuck Liddell match. How much of that's left over though? I want to know about his streaming though. Tell me about the streaming. That can't be right. That for sure can't be right. Did you see that? That ain't no way that's right. No way that was right. He lying, bro. You got to be lying.
You started the streaming. It's starting to really take off for you, huh?
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. I knew his agent, his manager. He called me and said, bro, you got to start streaming, bro. I'm like, nah, man, I'm not into that. Man, I used to stream a long time ago. He's like, no, man, I can get you paid from Kick. I'm like, oh, what, Kick pays? He's like, yeah, bro, you can make X and X amount of dollars. I was like, damn, I do got 2 kids in college right now.
You started the streaming. It's starting to really take off for you.
All right, Mushmaster, when you going to start streaming, Mushmaster?
I knew his agent, his manager.
Come on, Mushmaster, get your microphone, get your earphones.
Man, I used to stream a long time ago.
Just get your computer ready.
Paid from Kick. I'm like, oh, what, Kick pays? Like, yeah, bro.
Come on, Mushmaster, start streaming too. Start streaming too, Mushmaster.
Right now.
We gotta get you in the Olympics, man. Come on.
It's starting to really take off for you, huh?
That's crazy, bro. It's crazy. I knew his
agent. If I start making $50 million, man, I'll go crazy.
Streaming, bro. You got like, nah, man.
Actually, I do the same stuff.
Man, I used to stream a long time ago.
I do the same stuff actually.
My TTS is probably like $50.
If it's under what amount, you would not mind it.
I don't care. I don't. You know me. I don't care.
What is TTS?
Hold on.
Josiah, what's TTS mean?
It's past 4 weeks.
I don't know what that means.
$3,853.
And TTS?
Yeah.
Oh god damn. My TTS is probably like.
What the heck does
$50.
TTS mean? I don't know what that means.
What?
No.
Oh, it's Rampage with a wig on?
How much did we negotiate? You're paying like $2 million for
Well, we were at 1, but we'll talk about it after.
Oh, wow.
Let's see how the rest of it goes.
Did you hear that? Mushmaster, 1 milli?
No.
1 milli to stream?
Hey, how much did we negotiate? You're paying like $2 million for
We were at 1, but we'll talk about it after. Let's see how the rest of it goes.
1 milli to stream? I can stream. I don't want to stream for 24 hours though. Maybe in the future. Let's see.
They gave me a crazy pay-per-view deal. Cause they knew they wasn't gonna do pay-per-views. And then Dana White, the UFC, they bought my contract.
Oh, okay.
So when I fought Chuck, they had to give me they gave me. I made.
Oh, you made a good money.
I made like millions.
Oh, dude, that is so freaking awesome.
Just off the pay-per-view.
I heard a little bit.
And then
not really, because if somebody loves it, I owe.
I made about $7 million.
Whoa!
Off the Chuck Liddell
I've
fight.
never heard that number. Hold on.
This is my first time. My first time ever saying it.
I've never heard that.
My first time even saying it. My first time even telling anybody.
Wow.
And he come on, man. How many pay-per-view fights did that sell? UFC probably made $700 million off that fight.
With pay-per-view and everything, I probably made my most money on Chuck Liddell. Millions.
Wow. See that? Getting a cut of the gate, getting a cut of the pay-per-view.
Yeah, it was. I don't want to say the number, but
You don't have to say the number.
It was over $5 million.
Wow.
Because of the pay-per-view.
What's the most amount of money you've made in a fight?
With pay-per-view and everything, I probably made my most money on Chuck Liddell.
What was the pay-per-view? How much did UFC? The thing is, he made $7 million, but UFC made $200 million. And you guys gonna sit there and say that was fair? They sold 675,000 pay-per-view buys. What was the cost of that? How much was the 675,000? Okay, I'm gonna put that down in the calculator. Let me do this mathematics real quick, this calculation real quick, and we'll get out of here. $675,000. There you go. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot right there, huh? You guys can see. Okay, times. How much was the cost of pay-per-view in 2007? It says that fight was huge. UFC made a yeah, they definitely made. It was about $40. $39.99. Well, they didn't make that much money, to be honest. They made approximately 27 milli. Okay, that wasn't that much actually. That wasn't that much. Pay-per-view was 50. Let's look at the difference. Even if we calculate it times 50, that's 33 million. And he got 7 million. That's only 4.8%? No, it's not. What percentage is that? Oh, I messed it up. 7 million divided by, let's say 33 million. He got about 20%. He made 20% of the pay-per-view. Right? 20% of 21%. That's not bad. Don't forget sponsors. Yeah, sponsors. Remember you could have sponsors back in those days? You could get sponsors. Let me go big Alec mode. You had sponsors. Yeah. Them fighters ain't never gonna get 20% of nothing nowadays, bro. They screwed. All right, everybody, that's it for today. We did a good job. We did talk about We talked about ADCC. Their pricing's going up. It's going to be more expensive, especially for the European crowd. We'll see how that works. I do want to get out there. What else we got going on? We did talk about who else was on the thumbnail? Muggsy. We talked about Muggsy a little bit. He's gonna get crushed. I might check out that show on tomorrow. That RAF, Real American Freestyle. That's basically it today. Remember, today is White Belt Wednesday. Go help out a white belt. Help them do something, man. Do something right. We should be on tomorrow for Takedown Thursday. Friday we should be, I think, after work stream. And that's it, man. Who else is doing this 3 hours? I'm trying to get Mushmaster to start live streaming too. Because, Rampage making some money over there. All right, Mushmaster, you got to get in there too, man. You can start. You don't have to start on YouTube. You can do Twitch. I do have a Twitch account. I just don't use it. But maybe I should bring that back. That's basically it, man. If you guys want to help support the channel, please let people know about the channel. That helps the most. Let me see how many subscribers we got right now. Right now we have 951. Cover that up so you guys can't see all the info. 951. There we go. So we're trying to get to 1,000, everybody. Come on, let's get to 1,000. Got 49 subscribers to go. It's taking forever. It's taking too long. But we'll work on that. Yeah. And that's it, man. We'll see you guys tomorrow, God willing. Everybody, thanks for a great show. Everybody did good. And, yeah, we'll keep growing, man. Keep growing. If you guys have any suggestions for me, please let me know. You can let me know now or on social media or whatever, man. Whatever you guys want to do. I ain't in charge of you guys. All right, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. And he says, Mushmaster and Alec need to do a collab. Yeah, I'm trying to get Mushmaster. Mushmaster said he don't want to be on the camera. He said he's just going to have his voice. You can wear a mask. You can wear your wrestling mask. I'll have Mushmaster right there with a wrestling mask on. You can do whatever you want, man. Do whatever you want. All right, everybody. See ya.